Hey guys, tonight we tread softly across the red sands of Australia's outback, where the stars burn bright above a desert vast and ancient, their light guiding you to a firelit camp where an Aboriginal elder hums a songline, its melody mapping the land's hidden paths and sacred stories. It's deep in the dreamtime, thousands of years ago, and you're surrounded by the scent of eucalyptus and the faint crackle of burning gum leaves, the song's rhythm weaving a map of survival and spirit through the night. These songlines aren't just tunes, they're the heartbeat of a culture guiding wanderers across deserts where a wrong step could mean oblivion. Fair warning, you probably won't survive the outback. Without a songline's help, no GPS, just stars and stories to keep you alive. So before you get comfortable, take a moment to like the video and subscribe, but only if you genuinely enjoy what I do here. Drop a comment with your location and local time. I'd love to know where you're drifting off from. Now dim the lights, maybe turn on a fan for that soft background hum, and let's ease into tonight's journey together. You're crouching by the campfire, your bare feet sinking into the cool sand. The night air sharp with the tang of desert shrubs as the elder, a wiry man with eyes like the Milky Way, sings a waterhole path songline, his voice tracing a route to a hidden spring, each note a step through the vast central desert. Historical records confirm that Aboriginal songlines, thriving for over 60,000 years, were oral maps used by Indigenous Australians across regions like the Arunta and Warlpiri lands, encoding navigation resources and dreamtime stories to ensure survival in harsh deserts. These songlines you learn aren't just directions, they're a sacred art tying the singer to the land, the ancestors, and the restless souls who walk under the star's gaze far beyond the Renaissance potion chant's herbal hums. You lean closer to the fire, its embers casting shadows on the elder's ochre-painted skin, his voice a low hum as he weaves a tale of a kangaroo ancestor carving a riverbed, guiding a weary family who lingers nearby, their eyes heavy with the desert's weight. The camp smells of smoke and dried leaves, and you chuckle imagining sleeping on this sandy bed. Yeah, scorpion sting blues would keep you up till dawn. The quirky truth is that some songlines were sung in star tempo, their rhythm matching the movement of constellations like the emu in the sky, believed to align the singer's path with celestial guides. You picture a star winking, "Follow me," and grin, but the humor fades as you feel the songline's pulse, its melody a lifeline in the dark. Unlike the Inca potato chants, earthy tales, or the Byzantine folders' petty gripes about figs, the song shifts, the family's breathing slow, and you wander toward the camp's edge, where another elder chants a hill trail, verse her voice, a soft echo for a young hunter, seeking rest, her words painting a ridge under Orion's arc. You squint at the stars, bright, endless, a bit daunting, and feel a pang as a breeze carries her next verse, this one about the land's spirit guiding sleep. Historians still argue whether Aboriginal songlines were primarily practical mapping resources for survival or spiritual connecting singers to dreamtime ancestors. You're leaning towards spiritual feeling, the elder's reverence, his song a prayer to the land, like the Malian griot's Kora myths, though here it's desert paths, not potions that guide the way. You pause by a eucalyptus tree, the camp's hush deepening as more families drift in, each seeking a song to quiet their minds, the air thick with whispered verses and the rustle of leaves. You laugh softly, thinking how your playlist would make a terrible songline. Sorry, no epic about Wi-Fi woes. The Aboriginal craft is different. Its songlines a symphony of land and lore, turning the night into a canvas of calm that feeds both body and soul. You yawn, the fire's crackle, and the distant chant blending with the desert's quiet, a soothing hum that tugs at your eyelids. You think back to those star tempo songs, their celestial spark guiding paths, and realize this art isn't just navigation. It's devotion, each note a thread in the dreamtime's dreamy tapestry. You glance at the fire, its shadow softening the elder's voice, now, a murmur, his family asleep against the swag, the ancestor and river tale. A distant echo, but the songlines are the camp's heartbeat, binding the community to the land, to the stars. You laugh again, imagining explaining this to your mates. Yeah, they map deserts with songs, no big deal. The night deepens, the stars your only guide, and you drift closer to slumber. The scent of eucalyptus and the songline's rhythm, a lullaby in the desert's endless embrace. You're still crouched by the campfire in Australia's vast central desert thousands of years ago, where the night air carries the sharp tang of eucalyptus and the faint crackle of gum leaves, the stars above, blazing like a celestial guide. The Elder's Waterhole Path songline lingers, its melody a map to survival. But now you shift closer to the fire, drawn to a group of travelers chanting a new verse, their voices weaving a route to a hidden ochre deposit, each note a step through the unforgiving outback. You're here to learn why these songlines were crafted to guide desert navigation, their sacred melodies encoding survival knowledge to sustain life in a land where water and shelter are scarce. The hum of their chant and the fire's rhythmic pop blend into a soothing cadence, and you're ready to uncover their purpose. You settle deeper into the sand, your bare feet cool against the earth, the firelight illuminating the travelers' faces as they sing a red hill trail, songline, their voices tracing a path to a cave, with shade and tools, the lead chanter. A woman with a voice like the desert wind, guiding a young hunter who nods with focus. Historical records confirm that Aboriginal songlines used for over 60,000 years across regions like the Arrernte and Pitjantjatjara lands were oral navigation tools encoding detailed knowledge of waterholes, food sources, and safe routes to ensure survival in Australia's arid deserts. These songlines, you learn, were born from necessity. Without them, the desert's harshness could claim lives in days, blending practical mapping with dreamtime stories to anchor wanderers to the land far beyond the Renaissance potion chants, herbal remedies. You smirk as the hunter, his spear resting, asks if the song really finds the cave's shadow, earning a patient nod and a softer retelling from the chanter who weaves his question into the melody's rhythm. "Keep it grounded, path seeker," you mutter, chuckling at his earnest gaze. The quirky truth is that some songlines included echo cues, specific notes mimicking animal calls like a dingo's howl to mark key landmarks, believed to align the singer's steps with the land's pulse. One tale claims an emu echo songline led a lost clan to water during a drought. You picture Paulus from that Byzantine folder saga groaning at a scroll, full of howling maps and grin, but the humor fades as you feel the chanter's intent, her song a deliberate weave of survival and spirit. Not unlike the Malian griot's navigational myths, though here it's desert trails, not rivers, that guide. The songline shifts now, describing a ridge where goanna tracks signal a spring, a lesson in reading the land that calms the hunter's fidgeting. His eyes tracing the star's arc. You lean against a eucalyptus trunk, the bark rough under your hands, and sense the deeper purpose. These chants weren't just for navigation, but for trust, teaching reliance on the land's gifts, in an age where survival meant harmony with the desert's rhythms. The act feels both practical and sacred, the narrative a tool to ease fears of drought or disorientation while binding the camp to the Dreamtime's embrace. Historians still argue whether songlines were primarily utilitarian, ensuring physical survival, or cultural, fostering spiritual connection to the land. You're leaning toward cultural feeling. The chanter's reverence, her song, a prayer to the ancestors like the Polynesian star path. Chants, cosmic guides, though here it's sand not sea that shapes the way. You wander to the camp's edge where another elder sings a similar ochre path verse, her voice echoing the goanna's trail, the melody syncing with the night's breeze, guiding a family toward rest. You laugh softly, imagining navigating your city with a playlist. Yeah, you get traffic jam, blues, and lost. The Aboriginal craft is different. Its songlines a cultural anchor, turning the desert into a shared map of survival, far beyond the Byzantine folder's petty disputes over figs or camels, which seem trivial against this melodic art. The stars twinkle above a canvas for weary travelers, and the camp's quiet surrounds you, a distant dingo's howl blending with the chant. But the songlines feel like a sanctuary, their rhythms a shield against the night's vastness. You glance at the hunter, his face softened, his breathing steady, the ridge and springtail ending with a gentle flourish, the family's murmurs fading as they settle on swags. The lead chanter begins another, this one about a star guiding a weary mind to a waterhole. Its cadence even softer, the hunter's spear now still. You yawn, the fire's warmth, and the chanter's voice blending with the desert's stillness, a soothing hum that tugs at your eyelids. You think back to those echo cues, their repetitive spark marking a drought's salvation, and realize these songlines aren't just maps. They're lifelines, each note a dose of hope, like the Inca potato chants, starry verses, both weaving calm into the turmoil. You notice a child, her swag loose, humming a fragment of the Red Hill Trail to her sibling. The same star and water story, her rhythm syncing with the elders as if the camp shares a single lullaby. The Renaissance potion chants feel distant, but the song lines are the desert's pulse nurturing hearts where others would falter. You laugh again, picturing your local park ranger singing navigation tunes. Sorry, mate. You'd be stuck with trail mix blues and failing. The Aboriginal art is a marvel. Its songlines, a gentle guide, their rhythms, a testament to human spirit defying the desert's harshness, where the Byzantine folder's complaints would fade. You linger by the camp, the chanter's voice steady as she sings. The stars blazing the camp, now a hush of tales. The Renaissance chants a faint echo, but the songlines carry you a craft that feeds heart and soul its purpose. The spark you'll soon see in their sacred essence. You feel the weight of their soothing intent, the camp, a haven in the dark, and you're ready to hear the Dreamtime's divine roll. The desert looms wide, the stars brighter, and you drift closer to sleep, the scent of eucalyptus, and the songline's rhythm, a lullaby in the outback's endless night. You're still nestled by the campfire in the vast central desert thousands of years ago, where the night air hums with the scent of burning gum leaves, and the stars above blaze like a celestial map, their light casting shadows on the red sand. The traveler's red hill trail songline fades its navigation, now a tender echo, but you're drawn closer to the fire where an elder woman, her face etched with ochre and wisdom, chants a new melody, her voice weaving a tale of a serpent ancestor shaping the land's rivers. You're here to feel the sacred essence of these songlines, their spiritual role in the Dreamtime, where each verse connects the singer to ancestral spirits and the eternal stories that breathe life into the desert. The crackle of the fire and the elder's rhythmic chant blend into a soothing hum, and you're ready to sense this divine connection. You settle on a swag near the fire, your bare feet brushing the cool sand. The embers glow, illuminating the elder's hands as she gestures the serpent's path, her voice a low tide in a Warlpiri dialect, recounting how the rainbow serpent carved waterholes for a weary clan gathered nearby, their eyes heavy with reverence. Historical records confirm that Aboriginal songlines thriving for over 60,000 years across regions like the Warlpiri and Yolngu lands are sacred narratives of the Dreamtime, encoding spiritual stories of ancestral beings who shaped the land, connecting singers to the eternal creation time. These songlines, you learn, are more than maps. They're sacred threads, their melodies a bridge to the Dreamtime's divine essence, guiding the spirit through the desert's vastness, far beyond the Renaissance potion chant's celestial brews. You smirk as a young girl, her hair dusted with sand, asks if the serpent still sings in the stars, earning a warm smile and a softer retelling from the elder who weaves the question into her chant's rhythm. Keep it cosmic, little dreamer, you mutter, chuckling at her wide-eyed nod. The quirky truth is that some songlines were believed to carry spirit echoes, specific tones thought to resonate with ancestral voices, with one tale claiming a serpent echo chant called rain during a dry season. You picture a star humming, "I'm here," and grin, but the humor fades as you feel the elder's reverence, her chant a sacred dialogue with the Dreamtime. Each note a spark of devotion, not unlike the Malian griots. Spiritual hymns, though, here it's the land, not chorus strings, that holds the divine. The elder's chant shifts now, weaving a star path tale, its melody echoing the star tempo cues you heard before recounting a Goanna ancestor guiding a lost soul to rest. The clans breathing, slowing under their swags. You lean closer, the fire's warmth seeping through your skin, and imagine the camp, its songs alive with Dreamtime spirits. Their melodies a gift from the ancestors who shaped the rivers and hills. The act is both ritual and communion. The songline's sacred role, a tether to the eternal honoring the land that sustains the desert's heart. Historians still argue whether the spiritual essence of songlines was primarily connective, linking people to ancestors, or ceremonial, invoking Dreamtime for ritual calm. You're leaning toward connective, sensing the elder's faith, her chant a prayer to the stars like the Inca potato chants. Pachamama reverence, though here it's songlines, not tubers, that carry the sacred. You steady yourself as a clan member lights a small torch, its flames casting flickers on the sand. The elder's chant now weaving a serpent's coil. Verse, its rhythm familiar from the waterhole tales, soothing even you. You laugh softly, picturing your own bedtime with a meditation app. Yeah, you'd get glitchy mantra blues and stay up. The Aboriginal craft is different. Its songlines, a celestial symphony, turning the camp into a haven of spirit, far beyond the Byzantine folders' petty disputes over figs or camels, which seem trivial against this sacred art. The camp's hush surrounds you, a distant owl's call blending with the chant, the desert's vastness, a faint echo, but the elder's song feels like a sanctuary, its rhythm a shield against the night. You glance at the clan, their faces soften, the serpent and goanna tail ending with a gentle flourish. The girl now humming softly, learning the art of reverence. You yawn, the torches crackle, and the elder's whisper blending with the fire's dying embers. A soothing hum that tugs at your eyelids. You think back to that serpent echo tale, its notes calling rain, and realize these songlines aren't just stories. They're offerings, each verse, a spark of faith, like the Polynesian navigator's starlit chants, both guiding through the night's mystery. The camp holds you, the girl's torch. Steady, the elder's chant, a vow to honor the dreamtime soul. You notice another elder, his swag close, chanting a star path. Verse his eyes, half closed, finding peace in the songline's embrace. The lead elder's voice never falters her melody, a gift that outshines the desert's chill, binding this sacred space. You laugh again, picturing your local priest chanting to the stars. Sorry, mate. You'd be stuck with sermon drone blues and a flop. The camp's rhythm holds you a promise of peace in the fleeting, its songlines akin to the Renaissance potion chants, both crafting stories for the heart, defying time's erosion. The fire feels like a sanctuary, its glow a shield against the night, and you're ready to hear elders teach these sacred songs. You linger by the camp, the elders whisper steady as it hums, the verses fading into a gentle hum, like the desert's own breath. The hunter's trail and serpent spirits wait in memory, but the songlines carry you a craft that feeds heart and soul their sacred essence. The spark you'll soon see in elders' teachings. You feel the weight of their divine intent. The camp a haven in the dark, and you're ready to explore the wisdom passed down. The stars shine above their light, a gentle pull, and you drift closer to sleep, the scent of eucalyptus and the chant's rhythm, a lullaby in the outback's endless night. You've left the campfire's glowing embers behind their dreamtime tales now, a warm memory, and find yourself stepping into a sunlit clearing in the central desert thousands of years ago, where the morning air hums with the scent of spinifex and the distant call of a gala. The red earth is warm underfoot, and you're drawn to a circle of young learners, gathered around a revered elder, his ochre-streaked hair catching the light as he teaches a songline, its melody tracing a path to a sacred waterhole. You're here to listen to these elders pass down their songline wisdom, their voices weaving the heart of dreamtime, mapping to ensure its sacred chants endure for generations. The soft clap of hands and the elders' rhythmic chant blend into a gentle hum, and you're ready to feel this sacred teaching. You settle on a smooth rock near the circle, your bare feet brushing the dusty earth, the sunlight warming your skin as you watch the elder, a man with a voice like a desert stream, lead a star path songline his hands, gesturing the myth of a goanna ancestor carving a ridge in a Warlpiri dialect. His words rise and fall, a map to both land and spirit, guiding the learners who echo him their voices, tentative but earnest learning to carry the desert's lullabies. Historical records note that Aboriginal elders central to cultural transmission for over 60,000 years across regions like the Arrernte and Yolngu lands taught songlines to youth through oral recitation, preserving navigation and dreamtime stories vital for survival and identity. You feel the weight of this teaching, each note a spark its melody, a legacy binding the clearing to the stars far beyond the Renaissance potion chants guild lessons. You smirk as a young boy, a curious echo of the star-dreaming girl, tries to mimic the serpent's coil verse, but skips a beat, mixing the waterhole's path with a hill's trail, earning a gentle correction and a chuckle from the elder. "Keep it steady, path wobbler," you mutter, chuckling at his sheepish nod. The quirky truth is that some elders used land rhymes, mnemonic phrases like rock bends, path sends to teach complex songline routes, with one story claiming a star rhyme helped a youth navigate a drought-stricken valley. You picture Paulus from that Byzantine folder saga groaning at a scroll full of rhyming trails, and grin, but the humor fades as you see the elder's patience, his chant a sacred lesson, each note a spark of devotion, not unlike the Inca elders' potato chant teachings, though here it's songlines, not crops, that endure. The elder shifts to a red ochre trail songline, his voice steady, teaching the learners to sync the melody with the sun's arc, while a girl mimics his hand gestures, tracing a ridge's curve with care, her voice wobbly but bold. You lean closer, the spinifex's earthy scent curling around you, and feel the tenderness of this moment. The songlines not just routes, but a bridge to the dreamtime, binding learners to their ancestors, their land, their spirits. The act is both teaching and ritual, the elders' wisdom, ensuring the chants guide every weary soul, their melodies a shield against time's erosion. Historians still argue whether songline training was formal, a structured initiation, or communal absorbed through daily practice. You're leaning toward communal, sensing the clearing's ease, the learning a natural dance of story and song, like the Malingrio's oral teachings, though here it's desert paths, not chorus strings that carry the art. You accept a sip of water from a woven gourd, its coolness grounding you, and try humming the star path verse, stumbling on the Warlpiri rhythm, earning a kind nod from the girl who claps the beat. You laugh softly, imagining teaching your friends a desert chant. Yeah, you'd get off-key blues in a mess. The Aboriginal craft is different, its songlines a living archive, far beyond the Byzantine folder's petty disputes over figs or camels, which seem trivial against this oral legacy. The clearing's peace surrounds you, a kangaroo's thud, blending with the chants, the desert's hum, a gentle backdrop, but the elders' voices feel like a sanctuary, their songs a budding chorus in the morning light. You glance at the learners, their chants, stars, serpents, trails rising with the elders' guidance, their melodies now clear, some scratching path markers in the sand, each note a step toward mastery. The elder pauses, offering a serpent's coil verse to a boy, his voice clear as he names its landmarks, his echo proud but shy. You yawn, the spinifexes rustle, and the learner's chants blending with the clearing's quiet, a soothing hum that tugs at your eyelids. You think back to that star rhyme tale, its spark guiding a drought's path, and realize this teaching isn't just skill, it's memory, each note a spark like the Polynesian elder's star path, verses both weaving stories into the future. You notice the young girl, her chant steadier now, leading a red ochre trail, verse with care, her hands tracing its rhythm. The elders nod, a silent blessing. The clearing's warmth binds them, each songline, a shared lesson, their voices a legacy that carries the desert's soul. You laugh again, picturing your local kids learning ancient desert songs. Sorry, little navigators, you'd hit sand dune blues and flop. The elders' rhythm holds you a promise of growth in the fleeting their songlines akin to the Inca potato chants, both crafting bonds through shared art, defying time's erosion. The clearing feels like a hearth, its light a shield against the day, and you're ready to hear women's soothing songs. You linger in the clearing, the elders' voices steady as they chant their melodies, fading into a gentle hum, like the desert's own breath. The campfire's tales and dreamtime spirits wait in memory, but the songlines carry you a craft that feeds heart and soul. Their teachings the spark you'll soon see in women's voices. You feel the weight of their sacred intent, the clearing a haven in the light, and you're ready to explore women's songline roles. The stars hide above their light, a gentle pull, and you drift closer to sleep, the scent of spinifex and the chant's rhythm, a lullaby in the outback's endless day. You've left the clearing's rhythmic chants behind their elders' voices, now a warm memory, and find yourself slipping into a shaded grove in the central desert thousands of years ago, where the midday sun filters through eucalyptus trees, casting dappled light on the red earth. The air hums with the scent of damp bark and the soft coo of a cockatoo, but you're drawn to a group of women gathered around a small fire. One of them, a mother with a gentle smile, singing a songline, her voice tracing a path to a sacred women's site, her child humming along. You're here to watch these women weave their soothing songlines, their nurturing tales of dreamtime ancestors and desert paths crafted to guide both body and soul in a land pulsing with ancient rhythms. The crackle of the fire and the women's melodic hum blend into a gentle cadence, and you're ready to feel their tender embrace. You settle on a woven mat near the fire, your bare feet brushing the warm sand, the sunlight softening the grove's shade as you watch the mother's hands gesture, a moon's cradle songline, her voice in a Pichanjajar dialect, recounting a dove ancestor guiding a family to a waterhole, her child's eyes drooping under a bark headband. Historical records note that Aboriginal women, vital to cultural continuity, for over 60,000 years across regions like the Pitjantjatjara and Anangu lands, played a central role in songline traditions, often leading chants for women's sites and nurturing stories that taught survival and dreamtime connection to their kin. These songlines you learn are the desert's heartbeat, their rhythms a daily ritual that binds mother-child and community under the outback sun far beyond the Renaissance potion chant's domestic tonics. You smirk as the child, a bright-eyed girl, with a dusty braid interrupts to ask if the dove flies in her dreams, earning a warm chuckle and a softer retelling from her mother, who weaves the question into her chant's melody. Keep it starry, little pathfinder, you mutter, chuckling at her curious nod. The quirky truth is that women often used kin rhymes, gentle phrases like sansways, dove, stays to teach children, songline routes, embedding spiritual wisdom in lullabies. One tale claims a cradle rhyme guided a family to safety during a sandstorm. You picture Paulus from that Byzantine folder saga, groaning at a scroll full of rhyming paths, and grin, but the humor fades as you feel the mother's love, her song a tender weave. Each note, a spark of care, not unlike the Inca mother's potato lullabies, though here it's desert trails, not crops that soothe. The mother's chant shifts now, describing the dove's flight to a women's healing site, a lesson in trust that stills the girl's fidgeting, her bark headband slipping as her eyes close. You lean closer, the grove's eucalyptus scent curling around you, and sense the intimacy of this moment. The songline, not just a map, but a bond, teaching the child to honor the land in a world where spirit meant strength. The act is both nurturing and vital. The women's voices a shield against the desert's harshness, their chants a gift that carries dreamtime values, care endurance, into the next generation. Historians still argue whether women's songlines were primarily communal fostering group survival or ceremonial guiding sacred women's rituals. You're leaning towards ceremonial feeling, the mother's reverence, her chant akin to the Renaissance, women's potion rhymes both crafted with love to comfort the heart. You wander to another part of the grove, where a second woman sings a similar Star's Veil songline, her voice weaving a tale of a star ancestor shielding a sleeping clan, her infant swaying in a woven sling, the star path cue echoing the elders' teachings and the campfire's tales. You laugh softly, imagining your own bedtime routine with a sleep app. Yeah, you'd get glitchy cradle blues and a crash. The Aboriginal craft is different. It's women's songlines, a symphony of care, turning the grove into a haven of rest, far beyond the Byzantine folder's petty disputes over figs or camels, which seem trivial against this tender art. The grove's stillness surrounds you, a distant bird's call blending with the mother's hum, the desert's hum, a faint echo, but the songlines feel like a sanctuary, their rhythms a shield against the day. You glance at the first mother, her child now asleep, her bark headband tucked beside her, the mother's voice a whisper as she begins a new chant, the dove and star tale, a memory that lulls her to dreams. The second woman's infant slumbers her star veil songline, complete her arms still rocking gently, sinking with the breeze's flow. You yawn, the sunlight's warmth, and the women's murmurs blending with the grove's quiet, a soothing hum that tugs at your eyelids. You think back to that cradle rhyme, its spark guiding a sandstorm's escape, and realize these songlines aren't just paths. They're anchors, each note a spark of love, like the Polynesian navigator's starlit verses, both weaving peace into the day's toil. You notice a grandmother passing by her basket, heavy with bush tucker, humming a moon's cradle chant to a sleepy toddler, the same rhythm as the women's, as if the grove shares a single lullaby. The dreamtime spirits and elder teachings feel close, but the women's songlines are the desert's heartbeat, nurturing souls, where others would falter. You laugh again, picturing your local daycare spinning epic desert lullabies. Sorry folks, you'd be stuck with naptime tantrum blues and a flop. The women's art is a marvel, its songlines a gentle guide, their rhythms, a testament to human spirit defying the desert's trials, where the Byzantine folder's complaints would fade. You linger in the grove, the mother's voice steady as she hums the sun high. The grove now, a hush of tales, the Renaissance chants a faint echo, but the songlines carry you a craft that feeds heart and soul their tender calm, the spark you'll soon see in ritual ceremonies. You feel the weight of their soothing intent, the grove a haven in the light, and you're ready to join sacred rites, The desert pulses wide, the stars hidden, and you drift closer to sleep, the scent of eucalyptus and the songline's rhythm, a lullaby in the outback's endless day. You've left the grove's tender songlines behind their women's voices, now a warm memory, and find yourself stepping onto a sacred ceremonial ground in the central desert thousands of years ago, where the evening air hums with the scent of smoldering acacia and the faint rhythm of clapping sticks under a sky ablaze with stars. The red earth is marked with ochre patterns, and you're drawn to a circle of clan members, their bodies painted with white clay, gathered around a revered elder who chants a songline, its melody tracing the path of a dreamtime ancestor across the land. You're here to join these ritual ceremonies, where songlines are sung to embed their mythic maps into the spiritual fabric of the dreamtime, binding the clan to the eternal stories of creation. The clap of sticks and the elder's resonant chant blend into a soothing hum, and you're ready to feel this sacred rite. You settle on a woven mat at the circle's edge, your bare feet sinking into the cool sand, the starlight illuminating the elder, a man with a voice like a desert storm, as he leads a serpent's coil songline, his hands tracing the myth of the rainbow serpent, shaping rivers in a Yolngu dialect. His words pulse like a heartbeat, guiding dancers who move in sync their steps, a map of the land's creation, their eyes fixed on the elder's ochre-streaked face. Historical records note that Aboriginal ceremonies central to cultural practice for over 60,000 years, across regions like the Yolngu and Anangu lands, used songlines as sacred rituals, embedding dreamtime stories of ancestral beings into the community's spiritual life through dance and chant. You feel the weight of this rite, each note a spark its melody, tying the ceremony to the eternal far beyond the Renaissance potion chants, alchemical rituals. You smirk as a young dancer, a spirited echo of the path-wobbling boy, stumbles over a step in the Star Path dance, mixing the serpent's trail with a goanna's track, earning a sharp glance, but a forgiving nod from the elder. "Keep it sacred, step-tangler," you mutter, chuckling at his quick recovery. The quirky truth is that some ceremonial songlines use sky markers, specific verses tied to constellations like the Mu in the sky, believed to anchor the ritual's power to celestial spirits. One tale claims a star marker chant summoned a vision of the serpent during a clan's initiation. You picture Paulus from that Byzantine folder saga, wincing at a scroll, full of starry dances and grin, but the humor fades as you see the elder's focus, his chant a divine plea. Each note, a spark of reverence, not unlike the Malian griot's sacred rites, though here it's the desert spirits, not chorus songs, that commune with the divine. The elder's voice rises now, chanting a red ochre trail tale, his clapping sticks tapping the rhythm of a goanna ancestor's journey, the dancers' movements weaving a map of sacred sites, their harmony, a vow to honor the dreamtime. You lean closer, the acacia's smoky scent curling around you, and imagine the ground its ochre alive with ancestral spirits, honored by the chant's cadence their stories, a cosmic gift. The act is both ritual and communion, the songline's divine role a bridge to the eternal, ensuring the clan's connection to the land's creation. Historians still argue whether ceremonial songlines were primarily spiritual, invoking dreamtime ancestors or communal, strengthening clan bonds through ritual. You're leaning towards spiritual, sensing the elder's faith, his chant akin to the Inca's sacred potato rituals, both crafted to honor the divine, though here it's songlines, not crops, that weave the sacred. You steady yourself as a dancer lights a small fire, its flames casting shadows on the ochre patterns, the elder's chant shifting to a moon's cradle verse, its rhythm familiar from the women's songs and elders' teachings, soothing even you. You laugh softly, picturing your own spiritual rituals with a podcast sermon. Yeah, you get droning vibe blues and zone out. The Aboriginal craft is different. It's ceremonial songlines, a celestial symphony, turning the ground into a haven of devotion far beyond the Byzantine folder's petty disputes over figs or camels, which seem trivial against this mystic art. The ceremony's reverence surrounds you, a distant dingo's howl blending with the chant, the desert's vastness. A faint echo, but the elder's voice feels like a sanctuary, its rhythm a shield against the evening's chill. You glance at the dancers, their movements precise, the serpent and goanna tale, ending with a solemn flourish. The young dancer's steps, now steady, learning the art of worship. You yawn, the fire's crackle, and the elders' murmurs blending with the clapping sticks' dying beat. A soothing hum that tugs at your eyelids. You think back to that star marker vision, its spark uniting a clan, and realize these rituals aren't just ceremonies. They're lifelines, each note a spark of divine connection, like the Polynesian navigator's starlit rites, both weaving harmony into the chaos. The ground's glow holds you the dancer's fire. Steady the elder's chant, a vow to honor the songline's spirit. You notice a clan elder, her body painted with clay, joining the chant, her lips moving with the moon's cradle, verse. Her eyes half closed, finding peace in the ritual's embrace. The lead elder's voice never falters his melody, a gift that outshines the evening's shadows, binding this sacred space. You laugh, again picturing your local choir chanting to constellations. Sorry folks, you be stuck with off-key star blues and a flop. The ceremony's rhythm holds you a promise of peace in the fleeting, its songlines akin to the Inca potato chants, both crafting stories for the heart defying time's erosion. The ochre feels like a hearth, its warmth a shield against the night, and you're ready to hear traders share these songline tales. You linger on the ceremonial ground, the elder's voice steady as he chants, the verses fading into a gentle hum like the desert's own breath. The women's songs and elders' teachings wait in memory, but the songlines carry you a craft that feeds heart and soul. Their sacred calm, the spark you'll soon see in traders' exchanges. You feel the weight of their divine intent, the ground a haven in the dusk, and you're ready to explore the desert's story swaps. The stars shine above their light, a gentle pull, and you drift closer to sleep, the scent of acacia, and the chant's rhythm, a lullaby in the outback's endless night. You've left the ceremonial ground's ochre patterns behind their ritual chants now. A warm hum, and find yourself threading through a lively trade camp in the central desert thousands of years ago, where the evening air pulses with the scent of roasted bush tucker and the jingle of shell beads under flickering firelight. The red earth buzzes with voices, but you're drawn to a crowded circle where traders gather their chants, swapping songlines, tales of serpent's coil, and moon's cradle, each melody a soothing whisper to guide a weary wanderer leaning against a spear. You're here to hear these traders share songline tales, their narratives of dreamtime paths and sacred sites traded as currency binding Aboriginal tribes across the vast outback. The chatter of bartering and the traders' melodic exchanges blend into a soothing hum, and you're ready to feel this shared calm. You settle on a woven mat by the circle, your bare feet brushing the dusty sand. The fire's glow, illuminating a trader, a weathered woman with a sly grin bartering a Starpath songline for a bundle of ochre, her voice weaving a tale of a Goanna ancestor leading to a waterhole, offered to the wanderer who nods in awe. Her words rise and fall, each phrase a note of rest, the wanderer echoing the song's red ochre trail rhyme to learn it by heart. Historical records note that Aboriginal trade networks, thriving for over 60,000 years across regions like the Arunti and Yolngu lands, were cultural hubs where traders swapped songlines alongside goods, sharing oral narratives of sacred paths to strengthen intertribal bonds and guide travel. These swaps, you learn, are more than trade. They're a communal lullaby weaving tales across desert trails to quiet the night's fears far beyond the Renaissance potion chants market exchanges. You smirk as a young trader, a chatty echo of the step-tangling dancer tries to share a moon's cradle tale, but mixes the path with a kangaroo's track, earning a playful jeer and a tossed spinifex sprig from his listener. Keep it dreamy, tail twirler, you mutter, chuckling at his sheepish grin. The quirky truth is that some traders use song tokens, small carved stones marked with symbols like a star or serpent to mark a tale's worth, ensuring its memory during long journeys, with one story claiming a waterhole token calmed a trade dispute during a drought. You picture Paulus from that Byzantine folder saga groaning at a scroll full of stone-sealed tales and grin, but the humor fades as you feel the trader's intent, her song a shared gift, each note a spark of connection, not unlike the Malian trader's song exchanges, though here it's songlines, not Korah myths, that bind. The trader's tale ends, the wanderer's eyes drooping, his ochre traded, and she begins another, this one about a star guiding a lost clan to a sacred ridge, its star's veil cue echoing the women's songs and ceremonial rites. You lean closer, the scent of tucker and dust mingling, and accept a sip of honey water from a vendor, its sweet taste grounding you as you hum the red ochre trail verse, stumbling but earning a nod. You laugh softly, imagining bartering your playlists for Groceries, yeah. You'd get stale track blues and a blank stare. The Aboriginal craft is different. Its story swaps a cultural currency far beyond the Byzantine folders' petty disputes over figs or camels, which seem trivial against this communal art. The camp's hush surrounds you, a distant goanna's rustle, blending with the tales, the desert's glow. A faint backdrop, but the traders' voices feel like a sanctuary, their rhythms a shield against the night. You wander to another circle, where a man trades a serpent's coil tail for a shell necklace, his voice clear as he recounts a dreamtime spirit, carving a river, the listener echoing with care their exchange a vow to share the desert's calm. The act is both commerce and kinship. The songline tells a language that carries peace across dusty trails, easing the fears of wanderers far from home. Historians still argue whether trade camp songline swaps were primarily economic strengthening resource networks or social fostering unity through shared narratives. You're leaning toward social sensing the traders' bond, their voices a shared lullaby like the Inca traders' potato chant exchanges, both weaving ties through their craft. You sit by the fire, the honey water sweetness lingering, the traders' chants, stars, serpents, moons rising with the evening breeze, each one a verse carried from tribe to tribe shared across the desert's heart. The young trader, now bolder, offers a star-path tale, his melody clear, earning a song token from his listener. You yawn, the fires flicker, and the trader's murmurs blending with the camp's quiet, a soothing hum that tugs at your eyelids. You think back to that waterhole token tale, its spark calming a drought's tension, and realize these swaps aren't just trade. Their connection, each story a spark, like the Polynesian navigators' exchange chants, both weaving tales across distances. You notice a woman trader, her basket heavy with bush seeds, reciting a moon's cradle verse to a tired hunter, her voice soft, the tale a gift that earns a nod of thanks. The camp's warmth binds them, the songline tales, a currency that outshines the night's fears, linking tribes with shared dreams. You laugh again, picturing your local market swapping songs for goods, sorry folks. You'd flop with barter blues. The camp's rhythm holds you a promise of unity, in the fleeting its story swaps akin to the Inca potato chants, both crafting bonds through shared art, defying time's erosion. The fire feels like a hearth, its glow a shield against the night, and you're ready to see scribes preserve these oral archives. You linger in the camp, the traders' voices steady, as they chant their verses fading into a gentle hum, like the desert's own breath. The ceremonial rites and women's songs wait in memory, but the songline tales carry you a craft that feeds heart and soul, their shared calm, the spark you'll soon see in oral records. You feel the weight of their soothing intent, the camp a haven in the dark, and you're ready to explore the scribes' sung melodies. The stars shine above their light, a gentle pull, and you drift closer to sleep, the scent of tucker and the tale's rhythm, a lullaby in the outback's endless night. You've left the trade camp's lively songline swaps behind their traded tales, now a tender hum, and find yourself slipping into a shaded rock shelter in the central desert thousands of years ago, where the evening air carries the faint scent of damp stone and the distant coo of a cockatoo. The starlight filters through a jagged opening, illuminating a smooth rock wall, etched with ochre symbols. But your attention is drawn to an elder scribe, her voice chanting a songline, each verse preserving a sacred path to a water hole for future generations. You're here to see these scribes weave oral archives, their sung melodies safeguarding the dreamtime's mythic maps of Starpath and Serpent's Coil for wanderers yet to tread the desert. The rustle of sand and the scribe's murmured chant blend into a soothing hum, and you're ready to witness this delicate craft. You settle on a woven mat near the shelter's wall, your bare feet brushing the cool earth, the starlight casting shadows on the scribe's ochre-painted hands as she sings a red ochre trail songline in a Yolngu dialect, her voice weaving a tale of a Goanna ancestor guiding a clan to safety. Each note is a brushstroke, painting a map in memory, her words a sacred record for a young apprentice who echoes her their voices, a chorus of devotion. Historical records note that Aboriginal oral traditions thriving for over 60,000 years across regions like the Yolngu and Arrernte lands relied on scribes, elders, trained in memory to preserve songlines, ensuring the survival of navigation and dreamtime stories. Without written texts, These oral archives, you learn, are more than records. They're vessels of calm, carrying whispers of the land's paths in song, to quiet the sleepless nights of future tribes far beyond the Renaissance potion chants, inked manuscripts. You smirk as the apprentice, a cautious echo of the tail-twirling trader, stumbles over a moon's cradle verse, mixing the waterhole's path with a ridge's trail, earning a gentle tisk and a quick correction from the scribe. Keep it true, verse weaver, you mutter, chuckling at her flushed cheeks. The quirky truth is that some scribes used memory markers, specific pauses, or tones in chants to signal key landmarks believed to enhance recall during long recitations, with one tale claiming a star pause songline guided a clan through a dust storm. You picture Paulus from that Byzantine folder saga, groaning at a scroll full of paused chants, and grin. But the humor fades as you see the scribe's focus, her voice etching a tale of rest each note, a whisper of eternity, not unlike the Malian griot's oral manuscripts, though here it's memory, not parchment, that preserves. The scribe continues her chant, tracing the Goanna's journey, the songline's verses, a map of dreams that resonates in the shelter stone, its rhythm soothing even you. You lean closer, the damp stone's earthy scent mingling with smoke, and imagine wanderers hearing these songs by firelight, their voices tracing the paths to lull camps to rest. The act is both meticulous and sacred. The oral melodies, not just records, but a bridge to the dreamtime, preserving songlines for nights when chaos loomed. Historians still argue whether scribal songline archives were primarily practical storing paths for survival or spiritual, meant to be sung for ancestral calm. You're leaning towards spiritual, sensing the scribe's murmured reverence, her song a prayer for the land's spirit, like the Inca's knotted quipu tales, though here it's voices, not chords, that hold the story. You steady yourself against the shelter's wall, the apprentice practicing a new verse, her hands quick as she mimics the scribe's gestures, this one about a star weaving a veil for a sleeping mind. It's star's veil cue, echoing the trader's swaps and ceremonial dances. You laugh softly, picturing your own bedtime with a digital journal. Yeah, you'd get cloud sync blues and stay up. The Aboriginal craft is different. Its oral archives, a timeless vessel, turning songlines into lasting whispers far beyond the Byzantine folder's petty disputes over figs or camels, which seem trivial against this vocal art. The shelter's quiet surrounds you, a distant lizard scuttle, blending with the chant the trade camps hum, a faint echo, but the scribe's work feels like a sanctuary, her songs a chorus of rest. You glance at the elder scribe, her red ochre trail complete its verses, a memory ready for a wanderer's ritual, singing the ochre symbols glowing under starlight, guiding the chanter's pace. She begins another, her voice chanting a serpent's coil tale, its memory markers steady, the apprentice's echo tentative but growing. You yawn, the starlight's glow, and the scribe's murmurs blending with the shelter's stillness, a soothing hum that tugs at your eyelids. You think back to that star pause tale, its rhythm guiding a storm's escape, and realize these archives aren't just records. They're lifelines, each verse a spark of peace, like the Polynesian navigators' memorized chants, both anchoring the night's chaos. You notice the apprentice, her voice steadier now, chanting a moon's cradle verse, with care, her eyes focused, learning to preserve the art of calm. The scribe's melody slows her pause, deliberate the songline's story, a gift for sleepless souls. You laugh again, picturing your local librarian reciting desert paths. Sorry, pal. You'd be stuck with dusty tail blues and a mess. The scribal rhythm holds you a promise of calm in the fleeting, its oral melodies, akin to the Inca potato chants, both crafting stories for the heart, defying time's erosion. The shelter feels like a hearth, its glow a shield against the night, and you're ready to explore the ancestors woven into these songlines. You linger in the shelter, the scribe's chant steady as it hums the stars outside. Blazing, the trade camp swaps a faint echo, but the songline archives carry you a craft that feeds heart and soul. Their soothing calm, the spark you'll soon see in ancestral myths. You feel the weight of their sacred intent, the shelter a haven in the dark, and you're ready to uncover the ancestors' role in these stories. The desert looms wide, the stars brighter, and you drift closer to sleep, the scent of stone, and the tale's rhythm, a lullaby in the outback's endless night. You're still nestled in the shaded rock shelter of the central desert thousands of years ago, where the night air carries the cool tang of stone, and the faint hum of a distant gala the starlight filtering through the jagged opening to illuminate ochre symbols on the wall. The scribe's red ochre trail songline lingers its oral archive of the tender memory, but now you sit closer to the elder scribe, her voice weaving a new chant, this one rich, with the presence of dreamtime ancestors whose journeys shape the desert's sacred paths. You're here to learn how these ancestors are woven into songline narratives, their mythic roles in tales like Serpent's Coil and Moon's Cradle, guiding clans with divine wisdom across the outback's timeless sands. The rustle of sand and the scribe's melodic chant blend into a soothing hum, and you're ready to feel this ancestral reverence. You lean against the shelter's cool wall, your bare feet brushing the sandy floor. The starlight catching the scribe's ochre-streaked hands as she sings a Star's Veil songline in a Yolngu dialect, her voice tracing the journey of a kangaroo ancestor who carved a sacred ridge, blessing a clan with water and rest. Her words weave a tapestry of divine guidance, the apprentice echoing softly their voices, a vow to honor the ancestors' eternal path. Historical records note that Aboriginal songlines thriving for over 60,000 years across regions like the Yolngu and Warlpiri lands center on dreamtime ancestors' beings like the rainbow serpent or kangaroo spirits, whose actions shape the land and whose stories and songlines bind clans to spiritual and physical survival. These ancestral myths, you learn, are more than tales. They're sacred anchors, their melodies, a nightly prayer that ties the clan to its creators, easing fears of drought or disorientation far beyond the Renaissance potion chant's noble patrons. You smirk as the apprentice, that verse-weaving youth, tries to chant along, but swaps the kangaroo ancestor for a goanna, earning a weary sigh and a gentle correction from the scribe. Keep it ancestral, myth mixer, you mutter, chuckling at her flushed nod. The quirky truth is that some songlines included spirit calls, specific vocal tones believed to summon an ancestor's presence, with one tale claiming a kangaroo call chant brought visions of water during a clan's pilgrimage. You picture Paulus from that Byzantine folder saga, groaning at a scroll full of spirit-toned myths, and grin. But the humor fades as you feel the scribe's reverence, her chant a divine weave, each note a spark of connection to the dreamtime. Not unlike the Malian griot's ancestral epics, though here it's desert spirits, not Kora songs that guide. The scribe's chant shifts now, weaving a serpent's coil tale of the rainbow serpent who gifted a river to a sleepless clan, its melody echoing the traders' swaps and ceremonial dances. The apprentice's eyes wide with awe. You lean closer, the stone's damp scent grounding you, and sense the power of these ancestral myths. Their narratives not just guiding, but binding, teaching loyalty to the land's creators, while easing fears of scarcity or spiritual drift. The act is both spiritual and unifying, the ancestors' presence in the songlines, a shield against the desert's unknowns, their stories a gift that carries the clan's pride into dreams. Historians still argue whether ancestor-driven songlines were primarily spiritual, invoking divine guidance, or practical, encoding survival knowledge through mythic narrative. You're leaning towards spiritual feeling. The scribe's devotion, her chant akin to the Inca's divine potato myths, both crafted to honor higher powers, though here it's ancestors, not crops, that soothe. You wander to a nearby alcove where another scribe chants a similar tale, this one of a star ancestor blessing a desert spring, her voice soft, the moon's cradle rhyme syncing with the women's songs and trade camp tales. You laugh softly, imagining your own bedtime with an ancestral podcast. Yeah, you'd get droning myth blues and stay up. The Aboriginal craft is different. It's ancestral myths, a celestial symphony, turning songlines into havens of rest, far beyond the Byzantine folder's petty disputes over figs or camels which seem trivial against this mythic art. The shelter's stillness surrounds you, a distant breeze's whisper blending with the chant, the trade camp's hum, a faint echo, but the scribe's song feels like a sanctuary, its rhythm a shield against the night. You glance at the first scribe, her kangaroo tale complete its verses, a memory that lulls wanderers to dreams, now chanting a spirit call verse. Her voice a whisper as she begins a new myth of the serpent's river gift. The second scribe's tale ends her audience of one, a tired elder nodding the song, a spark of ancestral calm. You yawn, the starlight's flicker, and the scribe's murmurs blending with the stone's cool touch, a soothing hum that tugs at your eyelids. You think back to that kangaroo call, its spark guiding a pilgrimage, and realize these myths aren't just stories. They're divine anchors, each verse a spark of peace, like the Polynesian navigators' starlit myths, both weaving calm into the desert's trials. You notice a visitor, her swag loose, humming the star's veil chant, her eyes half closed, finding rest in the shelter's embrace. The scribe's voice never falters her melody, a gift that outshines the night's chill binding this quiet space. You laugh again, picturing your local historian spinning ancestral desert tales. Sorry, prof, you'd be stuck with archive yawn blues and a flop. The shelter's rhythm holds you a promise of peace in the fleeting, its ancestral myths, akin to the Inca potato chants, both crafting stories for the heart defying time's erosion. The alcove feels like a hearth, its glow a shield against the night, and you're ready to join the festivals of these song lines. You linger in the shelter, the scribe's voice steady as she chants, the verses fading into a gentle hum, like the desert's own breath. The traders' swaps and ceremonial dances wait in memory, but the songline myths carry you a craft that feeds heart and soul, their ancestral calm, the spark you'll soon see in desert feasts. You feel the weight of their sacred intent, the shelter a haven in the dark, and you're ready to celebrate these dreamtime tales. The stars shine above their light, a gentle pull, and you drift closer to sleep, the scent of stone, and the tale's rhythm, a lullaby in the outback's endless night. You've slipped away from the rock shelter's quiet archives, their ancestral myths now a tender echo, and find yourself swept into a bustling festival ground in the central desert thousands of years ago, where the midday sun bathes the red earth in golden light, the air pulsing with the beat of clapsticks, the laughter of clans, and the warm scent of roasted emu and eucalyptus smoke. The horizon shimmers with heat, but the crowd gathers around a central clearing, where elders, dancers, and children celebrate song lines chanting tales of serpent's coil and star's veil in feasts that honor their dreamtime power. You're here to join this festival of dreamtime, where songlines become sacred offerings, shared in joy to weave the desert spirit into every verse. The hum of voices and the melody of chanted paths blend into a soothing hum, and you're ready to revel in this starlit celebration. You weave through the crowd, your bare feet scuffing the warm sand, the sunlight warming your face as you approach a circle where an elder, a woman with a voice like a desert breeze, leads a moon's cradle songline, recounting a dove ancestor's journey to a sacred spring in a Warlpiri dialect, her chant offered to the heavens and ancestors. Clans join in their voices, rising, sharing the path as a prayer for harmony, their harmony echoing the women's nurturing songs and ceremonial dances. Historical records note the Aboriginal festivals thriving for over 60,000 years across regions like the Warlpiri and Anangu lands, often centered on songline storytelling, with communities celebrating dreamtime narratives during seasonal gatherings to strengthen spiritual and social bonds. You feel the festival's heartbeat, each tale a spark, its melody binding the crowd in shared reverence far beyond the Renaissance potion chants communal feasts. You smirk as a young boy, a lively echo of the myth-mixing apprentice tries to lead a star path chant, but skips a verse, earning playful cheers from his peers and a warm nod from the elder. Keep it flowing, story spinner, you mutter, chuckling at his proud grin. The quirky truth is that some festival songlines were paired with earth dances, gentle movements mimicking ancestral paths like a serpent's slither to enhance their spiritual resonance. With one tale claiming a dove dance calmed a clan during a dry season, you picture Paulus from that Byzantine folder saga, groaning at a scroll full of dancing myths, and grin, but the humor fades as you see the elder's pride. Her chant, a sacred offering, its rhythm, a spark in the festival's joy, not unlike the Malian griots' festival songs, both uniting through art. The elder passes the tale to a group of women, their voices weaving a red ochre trail verse about a kangaroo ancestor blessing a waterhole, the crowd clapping in rhythm as dancers sway like winding rivers, offering the story to the land's spirit. You lean closer, the eucalyptus smoke's earthy aroma curling around you, and accept a piece of damper bread from a vendor, its warmth tempting your fingers. You try chanting the moon's cradle verse, stumbling on the dialect, and a girl teaches you the rhythm with a clap. You laugh softly, imagining your family dancing to a bedtime playlist. Yeah, you'd trip into offbeat blues and chaos. The Aboriginal festival is different. its songlines a sacred art far beyond the Byzantine folder's petty disputes over figs or camels, which seem trivial against this communal celebration. You wander to a sunlit circle where a man leads a serpent's coiled tale. His voice strong, the myth, a prayer for unity shared among dancers who move like flowing streams, their steps echoing the story's path. The act feels holy. The tale's not just paths, but offerings, each verse a vow for harmony, survival, or ancestral favor, tying the clans to their dreamtime roots. Historians still argue whether festival songline chants were primarily ceremonial honoring ancestors or communal reinforcing social bonds through shared calm. You're leaning toward communal, sensing the crowd's warmth, their voices a constellation of shared spirit, like the Inca festival potato chants, though here it's desert paths, not tubers, that carry the song. You sit by the clearing, the bread's taste grounding you, its warmth sinking into you as you hum the star's veil verse, the ancestral myths alive in the festival's glow. You yawn, the clapsticks pulse, and the murmured tales blending with the crowd's lively buzz, a soothing hum that tugs at your eyelids. You think back to that dove dance, its blessing, a festival spark, and realize this feast isn't just celebration. It's connection, each tale a story like the Persian baker's poetic feasts, both weaving memory into the moment. The crowd's harmony binds them, each verse, a spark their festival, a tapestry of shared light. You glance at the clearing, the sun dipping low, the tale's melodies, serpents, stars, doves, now fragments, yet their music lives in the clan's voices chanted, cherished, alive. The young boy, now bolder, leads a red ochre trail chant, his voice clear, earning nods from the elders. You laugh again, picturing your local party with mythical karaoke. Sorry folks, you'd bomb with off-key blues. The festival's rhythm holds you a promise of joy in the fleeting, its songline chants akin to the Inca potato chants, both crafting bonds through shared art, defying time's erosion. The ground feels like a hearth, its warmth a shield against the dusk, and you're ready to hear women's voices in these sacred tales. You linger in the festival, the elder's voice steady as she shares another tale, the crowd's melodies fading into a gentle hum like the desert's own breath. The scribe's archives and trader's swaps wait in memory, but the songline chants carry you a craft that feeds heart and soul, their festive calm the spark you'll soon see in women's storytelling. You feel the weight of their celebration, the ground a haven in the light, and you're ready to explore women's roles in these narratives. The stars emerge above their light, a gentle pull, and you drift closer to sleep, the scent of eucalyptus and the tale's rhythm, a lullaby in the outback's endless day. You're still immersed in the bustling festival ground in the central desert thousands of years ago, where the midday sun bathes the red earth in warmth. The air alive with the rhythm of clapsticks and the earthy scent of roasted emu. The festival's energy pulsing with chants of serpent's coil and red ochre trail. The clearing glows with dancers and storytellers, and the distant call of a gala blends with the melodic hum of moon's cradle tales echoing from the feast. You're here to hear women's voices rise in these sacred songline chants, their roles as keepers of dreamtime wisdom, weaving narratives of ancestral paths and desert springs into the heart of the desert's soul, guiding clans with spiritual calm. The clap of hands and the women's harmonious chants blend into a soothing hum, and you're ready to feel their powerful grace. You settle on a woven mat near the central clearing, your bare feet tucked beneath you, the sun's warmth grounding you as you watch a woman elder, her hands weathered, her eyes bright with starlight, led a star's veil songline, her voice chanting a myth of a dove ancestor guiding a clan to a sacred spring in a Warlpiri dialect. She weaves the path's journey, her melody a map to peace, guiding a group of young women who echo her notes with care, their voices blending like the desert breeze. Historical records note that Aboriginal women, vital to cultural continuity for over 60,000 years, across regions like the Warlpiri and Pitjantjatjara lands, were key songline custodians, often leading chants for sacred women's sites and passing dreamtime wisdom to their kin, though their roles were less documented than men's. You feel the strength of her song, each note a testament to her voice, its music a thread in the festival's heart, far beyond the Renaissance potion chants maternal songs. You smirk as a teenage girl. A spirited echo of the story-spinning boy joins the chant but swaps Dove's flight for Star's glow, earning a playful tisk and giggles from her peers. Mind the ancestors' verse drifter, you mutter, chuckling at her cheeky grin. The quirky truth is that women sometimes wove spirit rhymes into their songlines. Subtle phrases like spring hums dove comes shared only among women believed to carry extra potency for sacred sites. One tale claims a veil rhyme ensured a clan's peace during a women's ceremony. You picture Paulus from that Byzantine folder saga, groaning at a scroll full of secret rhymes and grin. But the humor fades as you see the elders focus, her chant a powerful weave of myth and care, her voice a beacon in the festival's glow, not unlike the Malian griot's women's songs crafted with love. The elder's voice shifts now, chanting a moon's cradle. Tale of a star ancestor blessing a healing site, her hands gesturing the path's flow, her apprentices harmonizing their voices, blending like the festival's clapsticks, etching the melody into the clan's memory. You lean closer, the emu's smoky warmth brushing your senses, and feel the intimacy of their craft. The songlines not just paths, but a legacy, their voices guiding restless souls to thrive, and binding the festival's spirit. The act is both art and duty, the women's songs shaping dreamtime wisdom, ensuring every chant finds favor with the ancestors. Historians still argue whether women's roles in songline chanting were equal to men's leading narratives, with authority or supportive preserving tales in sacred spaces. You're leaning toward equal sensing the elder's command, her verses as vital as any man's, like the Inca women's potato chant roles. Though here it's desert paths, not tubers that carry the power. You accept a sip of honey water from a vendor, its floral sweetness grounding you, and try humming the Star's Veil verse, stumbling on the rhythm, earning a kind nod from the girl who claps the beat. You laugh softly, imagining your sister chanting desert myths. Yeah, she'd belt off key blues and flop. The Aboriginal women's craft is different. Their songlines a celestial legacy, far beyond the Byzantine folder's petty disputes over figs or camels, which seem trivial against this artistry. The festival's energy surrounds you, a child's giggle blending with the chant, the desert's hum, a gentle backdrop, but the women's voices feel like a sanctuary, their songs a chorus that grounds the day. You glance at the circle, the women's tales, stars, doves, springs rising with the sunlight, their melodies shared with young apprentices, their eyes bright with focus. The elder pauses, offering a red ochre trail tale, to a neighbor her voice clear as she weaves its myth, the neighbor echoing with pride. You yawn, the clapstick's pulse, and the women's chants blending with the festival's lively buzz, a soothing hum that tugs at your eyelids. You think back to that veil rhyme, its secret spark ensuring a ceremony's peace, and realize these women's songs aren't just art, they're guidance. Each note, a spark like the Persian baker's hidden rose poems, both weaving stories into the everyday. The festival's harmony binds them, each verse a thread, their song, a tapestry of shared light. You notice the teenage girl, her chant steadier now, leading a moon's cradle verse with confidence. The elders nod, a silent blessing, their voices, a legacy that carries the community's heart. You laugh again, picturing your local choir singing desert myths. Sorry folks, you'd hit flat note blues and flop. The women's rhythm holds you a promise of strength in the fleeting, their songline chants akin to the Inca potato chants, both crafting bonds through shared craft, defying time's erosion. The clearing feels like a hearth, its warmth a shield against the day, and you're ready to see how youth learn these soothing tales. You linger in the festival, the women's voices steady as they chant their melodies, fading into a gentle hum, like the desert's own breath. The scribes' archives and traders' swaps wait in memory, but the songline chants carry you a craft that feeds heart and soul. Their women's voices, the spark you'll soon see in youth's learning. You feel the weight of their soothing intent, the clearing, a haven in the light, and you're ready to watch young ones embrace these narratives. The stars hide above their light, a gentle pull, and you drift closer to sleep, the scent of emu and the tale's rhythm, a lullaby in the outback's endless day. You've slipped away from the festival's lively clearing, its women's chants now, a warm echo, and find yourself in a sun-dappled clearing in the central desert thousands of years ago, where the morning light filters through acacia trees, casting golden patterns on the red sand. The air hums with a distant buzz of cicadas, and the playful giggles of children gathered around a wise woman who teaches a songline, her voice guiding them to mimic a sacred path to a waterhole. You're here to watch these youth learn memorizing the soothing songlines through games that will one day guide clans through the desert's vastness, weaving the Dreamtime's heart into their young voices. The rustle of leaves and the children's tentative chants blend into a gentle hum, and you're ready to witness their budding craft. You settle on a smooth rock beside the clearing, your bare feet brushing the warm earth, the sunlight grounding you as you watch the woman, a teacher with a voice like a soft wind, lead a red ochre trail songline, her hands gesturing a myth of a kangaroo ancestor, carving a ridge in a Pitjanjajara dialect. The children, their faces dusted with sand, echo her, their voices stumbling over tales of starry paths and serpent springs, tossing spinifex sprigs in a game to mimic ancestral tracks. Historical records note that Aboriginal youth taught songlines from childhood across regions like the Pitjanjajara and Arunta lands for over 60,000 years, learned through play and repetition, ensuring the oral preservation of navigation and Dreamtime stories vital for survival. You feel the joy of their learning, each note a seed its melody, a legacy to soothe future nights far beyond the Renaissance potion chant's youthful lessons. You smirk as a young girl, a playful echo of the verse-drifting teen adds a whoop to her moon's cradle, verse pretending her spinifex is a flying dove, earning giggles from her friends and a gentle tap from the teacher. Keep it sacred, chant skipper, you mutter, chuckling at her cheeky grin. The quirky truth is that children often use play rhymes, silly additions like sandspins, dove wins, to make songline memorization fun, with one story claiming a trail tickler rhyme helped a child recall a waterhole path during a clan's journey. You picture Paulus from that Byzantine folder saga, wincing at a scroll full of playful chants and grin, but the humor fades as you see the teacher's patient smile, her voice guiding the girl, the songlines a lesson in joy and duty, not unlike the Inca children's potato chant games, though here it's desert trails, not crops that endure. The teacher shifts to a star path songline, her voice steady, teaching the children to sync the melody with the sun's arc while a boy tosses a stick to trace a goanna's trail, his voice wobbly but earnest. You lean closer, the acacia's earthy scent curling around you, and feel the tenderness of this teaching, the chants not just paths, but a bridge to the past binding the children to their mothers, traders, and scribes. The act is both playful and vital, the song's a canvas for melodies that soothe restless souls. Historians still argue whether youth's role in learning songlines was formal, a structured initiation, or playful absorbed through community life. You're leaning toward playful, sensing the joy in their laughter. They're learning a dance of love and craft like the Malian griots children's games, though here it's songlines, not Cora myths, that carry the tradition. You accept a piece of bush plum from a vendor, its tart sweetness grounding you, and try humming the red ochre trail verse, stumbling on the rhythm, earning a kind clap from a boy who shows you the beat. You laugh softly, imagining teaching your kids a navigation app. Yeah, you'd get digital tantrum blues and a mess. The Aboriginal craft is different, its songlines, a vibrant legacy, far beyond the Byzantine folders' petty disputes over figs or camels, which seem trivial against this oral heritage. The clearing's peace surrounds you, a bird's call blending with the chants, the festival's hum, a gentle backdrop, but the children's voices feel like a sanctuary, their songs a budding chorus in the morning light. You glance at the group, the children's tales, stars, doves, trails rising with the teacher's guidance. Their melodies now clearer, some tossing sprigs to mark path steps, each note, a step toward mastery. The teacher pauses, offering a moon's cradle tale to a girl, her voice clear as she names its ancestors, her echo, proud but shy. You yawn, the acacias rustle, and the children's chants blending with the clearing's quiet, a soothing hum that tugs at your eyelids. You think back to that trail tickler rhyme, its playful spark guiding a clan's path, and realize this learning isn't just skill. It's memory, each note, a spark like the Polynesian children's star path games, both weaving stories into the future. You notice the young boy, his chant steadier now, leading a star path, verse with care, his stick tracing its spirit in the air. The teacher's nod, a silent blessing. The clearing's warmth binds them each melody, a shared lesson, their voices a legacy that carries the desert's soul. You laugh again, picturing your local kids singing ancient desert myths, Sorry little navigators, you'd hit off-tune blues and flop. The children's rhythm holds you a promise of growth. In the fleeting, their songline chants akin to the Inca potato chants, both crafting bonds through shared art, defying time's erosion. The clearing feels like a hearth, its shade a shield against the day, and you're ready to ponder the origins of these songs. You linger in the clearing, the children's voices steady as they chant their melodies, fading into a gentle hum, like the breeze's own breath. The festival's joy and women's voices wait in memory, but the songline chants carry you a craft that feeds heart and soul their youthful learning, the spark you'll soon see in their origins. You feel the weight of their soothing intent, the clearing a haven in the light, and you're ready to explore why these lullabies began. The stars hide above their light, a gentle pull, and you drift closer to sleep, the scent of acacia and the chant's rhythm, a lullaby in the outback's endless day. You're still nestled in the sun-dappled clearing of the central desert thousands of years ago, where the morning light weaves through acacia trees, casting golden flecks across the red sand, the air alive with the soft buzz of cicadas and the playful chants of children practicing red ochre trail and star path songlines. The teacher's voice lingers her guidance, a gentle echo, but now you sit quietly on your rock, pondering the origins of these songlines, the question of why Aboriginal clans began singing tales of starry paths and ancestral springs to map the desert's dreams. The rustle of spinifex and the children's tentative chants blend with the teacher's soft hum, a soothing cadence that pulls you into a reflective haze, and you're ready to sift through this ancient mystery. You shift on the smooth rock, your bare feet brushing the warm earth, the clearing's tranquility, a comforting embrace as you watch the teacher guide a moon's cradle. Songline her voice, weaving a myth of a dove ancestor leading to a sacred spring in a Pitjantjatjara dialect. The children echo her, their voices, a budding chorus, but your mind drifts to the roots of this tradition. Historical records suggest that Aboriginal songlines flourishing for over 60,000 years across regions like the Pitjantjatjara and Yolngu lands likely emerged from ancient oral traditions, possibly as early as the first human migrations to Australia, blending survival knowledge with dreamtime reverence. Though their precise spark remains veiled in time, you feel the weight of this riddle. Each tale a spark its origins, a star hidden in the desert's vast history, far beyond the Renaissance. Potion chants herbal beginnings. You smirk as the young girl, that chant-skipping sprig tosser, tries to impress her friends with a made-up go-on-a-skip verse, only to jumble the rhythm, earning a giggle and a nudge from the teacher. "Keep it true, rhyme tinker," you mutter, chuckling at her pout. The quirky truth is that some Aboriginal legends claim songlines began with a mythic figure, a wanderer named Chilpi, who sang to calm a lost clan her star's echo tale, inspiring the first desert chants. One story insists her song birthed the art of celestial guided paths, a gift from the dreamtime. You picture Paulus from that Byzantine folder saga, groaning at a scroll full of Chilpi myths, and grin. But the humor fades as you ponder the origins. The clearing song's a living thread to a past both sacred and practical, not unlike the Malian griot's Kora song roots. Scholars puzzle over whether songlines were a deliberate creation, perhaps by a wise figure, like the teacher before you, blending survival needs with spiritual reverence, or an organic evolution growing from centuries of fireside tales to navigate drought-ridden lands. Some argue they arose from necessity, mapping scarce resources in a harsh desert, while others see a sacred root tying clans to the dreamtime through song. Historians still argue whether the origins of songlines lie in practicality, artistry, or devotion, a human spark, or an ancestral gift. You're leaning toward devotion, feeling the teacher's chant, its rhythm both precise and soulful, like the Polynesian star path chants born from navigation and spirit, though here it's the desert's pulse, not the sea that holds the mystery distinct from the Inca potato chant's earthy roots. You lean closer, the acacia's earthy scent curling around you, the teacher's star path tale blending with the children's voices, a tapestry of melodies that hints at the craft's deep roots. You imagine the first singer under these same acacias, humming a tale of a waterhole's calm. To guide a struggling clan, her song, a simple act that grew into a tradition. The debate swirls its answers lost in time, but the songline's power is undeniable. guiding clans through the outback's trials. You laugh softly, picturing debating this with your friends. Yeah, you'd be arguing over mythical trail blues by now. The Aboriginal craft endures, unlike the Byzantine folder's fragile scrolls. Its melodies a living archive carried in voices far beyond the Persian baker's dough, though both preserve stories in their art. The clearing hums with life, the boy now chanting a red ochre trail verse with confidence, his stick tracing its arc in the sand while the girl tries a moon's cradle, her voice wobbly but determined. You yawn, the acacias rustle, and the children's chants blending with the distant festival's hum, a soothing hum that tugs at your eyelids. You think back to that Chilpi legend, her star's echo, a divine spark, and realize the origins, whether myth or truth, are less vital than the songline's persistence. Each note, a spark like the Malian griot's river of song, both weaving tales across time. The children's voices rise their melodies, a clue to a past that lives in the clearing's rhythm. The teacher's guidance, a steady anchor. You glance at the sand where spinifex sprigs are scattered, stars, doves, trails, each speck, a hint of a history sung through generations, ready for the desert's embrace. The teacher pauses, offering a star path tale to a vendor, her voice clear the verse echoing the children's play. A cycle of memory. You laugh again, imagining your local school debating songline origins over homework. Sorry kids, you'd flunk with textbook blues. The clearing's rhythm holds you a promise of mystery in the everyday. Its songline chants akin to the Inca potato chants, both rooted in voices that defy time's erosion. The clearing feels like a haven, its warmth a shield against the day, and you're ready to see how these songs defy the desert's hardships. You linger in the clearing, the children's voices steady as they chant their melodies, fading into a gentle hum, like the breeze's own breath. The festival's firelit joy and women's voices wait in memory, but the songline chants carry you a craft that feeds heart and soul. Their origins, the spark you'll soon see, soothing the desert's chaos. You feel the weight of their mystery, the clearing a sanctuary in the light, and you're ready to face the hardships, these lullabies calm. The desert looms wide, the stars hidden, and you drift closer to sleep, the scent of acacia, and the chant's rhythm, a lullaby in the outback's endless day. You've left the clearing's playful chants behind their youthful voices, now a tender memory, and find yourself trudging along a drought-parched trail in the central desert thousands of years ago, where the air is thick with dust and the faint scent of withered spinifex, the sun blazing overhead in a sky empty of clouds. The red earth cracks underfoot, yet, by a lone eucalyptus, a singer's voice rises her chant weaving a tale of a dreamtime ancestor enduring a dry spell to find water. You're here to see how these songlines defy the desert's hardships, their soothing narratives of starry paths and sacred springs crafted to calm both body and soul through drought and strife, a testament to their resilience. The distant cry of a crow and the singer's steady whisper blend into a soothing hum, and you're ready to feel their defiance. You huddle in the eucalyptus's sparse shade, your bare feet crunching the brittle sand, the heat pressing as the singer, a woman with eyes fierce as a desert hawk, stands firm, her voice chanting a moon's cradle songline in a Warlpiri dialect, recounting a dove ancestor guiding a clan to a hidden spring during a drought. Historical records note that Aboriginal communities thriving for over 60,000 years across regions like the Warlpiri and Anangu lands faced frequent droughts, using songlines to locate scarce resources and invoke dreamtime spirits. For hope, their chants a cultural anchor during environmental crises. These songlines, you learn, are more than maps. They're lifelines, their rhythms a shield against the desert's despair, guiding souls to endurance. Despite the sun's relentless glare, far beyond the Renaissance potion chants plague-defying brews. You smirk as a young apprentice. A nervous echo of the rhyme-tinkering girl clutches a woven bag and whispers if the song really finds the spring's heart, earning a gentle nod and a softer retelling from the singer. Hold the tale, doubt, waver, you mutter, chuckling at her wide-eyed nod. The quirky truth is that some songlines included hope weaves, repetitive phrases like sand hums, water, comes designed for hardships nights, countering the chaos of drought or scarcity. One tale claims a spring weave chant led a clan to water during a decade-long dry spell. You picture Paulus from that Byzantine folder saga groaning at a scroll full of hope-soothing weaves and grin, But the humor fades as you feel the singer's resolve, her chant a beacon each note, defying the desert's cruelty, not unlike the Malian griot's drought-defying songs, though here it's songlines, not chora, that anchor. Her voice rises, weaving a star-path tale. Despite the drought's weight, her melody sinking with the faint breeze. The apprentice's murmurs joining in their trust in the story unwavering. You lean closer, the eucalyptus's rough bark brushing your hands, and feel the power of this guidance. The songline, a memory that holds firm when thirst reigns. The desert's pulse, a rhythm sung through the haze. The act is both defiance and faith. The story's rhythm tying the singer to hope, to ancestors, to survival in a battle against the sun's fury. Historians still argue whether these hardship-defying songlines relied more on cultural memory recalling ancestral paths or emotional resonance soothing immediate fears. You're leaning toward emotional sensing, the singer's soothing intent, her chant akin to the Inca's frost-weaving potato chants, both crafting hope from hardship. You brace against the tree, the singer's chant unwavering now, weaving a red ochre trail, verse its quick notes, a hope weave matching the drought's ebb, the apprentice's voice steady finding peace amid the scarcity. You laugh softly, imagining calming your own stress with a mindfulness app. Yeah, you'd be scrolling Panic, Crash, Blues, and Frazzled. The Aboriginal craft is different, its songlines a fortress of melody far beyond the Byzantine folders' petty disputes over figs or camels, which seem trivial against this fight for calm. The trail's heat surrounds you, a gust scattering dust, but the singer's voice holds you, its rhythm a shield against the day. You glance at the trail, the sand cracked its sparse grasses softened by the tale. The apprentice now chanting softly, her bag loose, learning to sing through fear. You yawn, the drought's weight, and the singer's chant blending with the crow's distant cry, a soothing hum that tugs at your eyelids despite the harshness. You think back to that spring weave tale, its spark saving a clan, and realize these songlines aren't just narratives, they're resilience. Each note a bond against the desert's trials, like the Polynesian navigator's storm-defying chants, both weaving peace into chaos. The trail steadies a faint cloud promising rain, the singer's chant quickening the apprentice's murmurs in sync. You notice a wanderer, his spear heavy, joining the chant. His voice firm, the moon's cradle verse, a vow of endurance. His eyes fixed on the horizon's shimmer. The songline's music is alive, more than a story. It's the desert's heartbeat, soothing souls, where others would falter. You laugh again, picturing your local survivalist spinning drought tales. Sorry, mate. You'd be stuck with canteen flop blues and adrift. The singer's art is a marvel, its chants a chaos-proof guide. Their notes a testament to human spirit defying the desert's turmoil, where the Byzantine folders' complaints would falter. You linger by the eucalyptus, the singer's voice steady as she chants, the drought easing a star piercing the haze. The festival's joy a faint echo, but the songlines carry you a craft that feeds heart and soul. Their resilience, the spark you'll soon see traded across regions. You feel the weight of their defiance, the tree a haven in the heat, and you're ready to witness the sharing of these tales. The desert calms the stars brighter, and you drift closer to sleep, the scent of spinifex and the chant's rhythm, a lullaby in the outback's endless day. You've left the parched trail's defiant songlines behind, their hope weaves, now a fading memory, and find yourself on a sun-warmed trade route, weaving through the central desert thousands of years ago, where the morning air hums with the gentle rustle of spinifex and the chatter of traders from distant clans, their voices carrying tales across the outback's red sands. The horizon shimmers with promise, but among the ochre-laden bundles, songlines of Moon's Cradle and Red Ochre Trail are shared like precious wares, their melodies binding tribes across Australia's vast regions. You're here to witness the trading of these dreamtime tales, carried from desert camps to far-off clans, their narratives weaving kinship and calm through the outback's endless trails. The jingle of shell beads and the traders' melodic exchanges blend into a soothing hum, and you're ready to follow this story, commerce. You settle on a woven mat by a trader's camp, your bare feet sinking into the warm sand, the sunlight catching the dust as you watch a trader, a grizzled man with a weathered swag, offer a Starpath songline to a visitor from a northern clan, his voice chanting a myth of a Goanna ancestor guiding to a sacred spring in a Warrapiri dialect. He sings the melody, a map to peace, and the visitor echoes it, their voices a bridge across regions. Historical records note that Aboriginal trade networks, thriving for over 60,000 years across regions like the Walpiri and Yolngu, lands exchanged songlines as cultural currency, with traders sharing sacred narratives to strengthen alliances and guide travel linking clans through shared stories. You feel the pulse of this trade, each tale, a spark its melody weaving connections among strangers far beyond the Renaissance potion chance market swaps. You smirk as a young trader, a lively echo of the doubt-waving apprentice tries to barter a serpent's coil tail but stumbles mixing the river's path with a hill's trail, earning a chuckle and a carved stone token from his buyer. Keep it sacred, verse haggler, you mutter, chuckling at his sheepish grin. The quirky truth is that some traders use path tokens, small stones, etched with symbols like a dove or star to mark a songline's exchange, ensuring its memory across vast trails, with one tale claiming a spring token opened a trade route by proving a chance worth during a flood. You picture Paulus from that Byzantine folder saga groaning at a scroll full of token tales and grin, but the humor fades as you see the trader's pride, his chant a gift of calm, each note a spark of kinship not unlike the Malian trader's song seals, though here it's songlines, not Korah songs, that bind. The grizzled trader shares a moon's cradle tale, his voice steady offering it for a bundle of bush, Tucker both parties reciting the melody, their harmony sealing the exchange as a promise of shared peace. You lean closer, the scent of leather and roasted seeds mingling, and accept a sip of bush tea from a vendor, its bitter warmth grounding you as you hum the red ochre trail verse stumbling but earning a nod. You laugh softly, imagining trading your bedtime stories for snacks. Yeah, you'd get crumbly tail blues and a blank stare. The Aboriginal craft is different. Its songline chants a melodic currency, far beyond the Byzantine folder's petty disputes over figs or camels which seem trivial against this artful exchange. The camp's buzz surrounds you, a child chasing a lizard, a dingo's yawn, but the trader's songs are beacons, their melodies sparking connection across regions. You wander to another camp where a woman trades a star's veil tail for a shell necklace, her voice clear as she recounts a star ancestor shielding a clan, the buyer echoing with reverence, their exchange a vow to share the desert's calm. The act is more than trade. It's kinship. The songline tells a language that carries wisdom across drought-scarred trails, even through hardship's shadows. Historians still argue whether these traded songlines were primarily economic strengthening trade networks or cultural fostering unity across clans. You're leaning toward cultural sensing the traders' bond, their voices a shared lullaby like the Inca traders' potato chant swaps, both weaving ties through their craft. You sit by the roadside, the tea's tang lingering, the traders chant stars, doves, serpents rising with the morning breeze, each one a verse carried from the central desert to distant coasts, shared across Australia's heart. The young trader now bolder offers a moon's cradle tale, his melody clear earning a path token from his buyer. You yawn, the bundles rustle, and the trader's chants blending with the camp's lively hum, a soothing hum that tugs at your eyelids. You think back to that spring token tale, its chant opening a route, and realize this trade isn't just commerce, it's connection, each melody a spark like the Polynesian navigators' exchanged chants, both weaving stories across distances. You notice a woman trader, her sack heavy with seeds, reciting a red ochre trail verse to a visiting elder, her voice strong, the tale a gift that earns a nod of respect. The roadside's warmth binds them. The songline chants a currency that outshines drought's scars, linking clans with shared dreams. You laugh again, picturing your local market swapping songs for goods, sorry folks. You'd flop with barter blues. The camp's rhythm holds you a promise of unity. In the fleeting, its chant trades akin to the Inca potato chants, both crafting bonds through shared art, defying time's erosion. The camp feels like a hearth, its warmth a shield against the day, and you're ready to hear elders' sacred preservation. You linger on the trade route, the traders' voices steady as they chant their melodies, fading into a gentle hum, like the desert's own breath. The drought's chaos and festival's joy wait in memory, but the songline chants carry you a craft that feeds heart and soul. Their traded calm, the spark you'll soon see in elders' wisdom. You feel the weight of their connection, the camp a haven in the light, and you're ready to explore the elders' safeguarding of these stories. The stars hide above their light, a gentle pull, and you drift closer to sleep, the scent of spinifex, and the tale's rhythm, a lullaby in the outback's endless day. You've left the trade route's lively songline swaps behind their melodic tales, now a warm hum, and find yourself seated in a shaded desert gathering under a sprawling eucalyptus thousands of years ago, where the midday sun filters through leaves, casting dappled light on the red sand strewn with sacred stones. The air carries the faint scent of smoldering spinifex and the distant call of a kookaburra. But within this circle, revered elders gather their voices low as they recite sacred songlines of Star Path and Moon's Cradle, ensuring these soothing melodies endure for future clans. You're here to hear these elders preserve their sacred songline, chants their stewardship of Dreamtime narratives, a vital act that binds the desert's people to their ancestral heritage. The rustle of leaves and the elders' rhythmic chants blend into a soothing hum, and you're ready to feel this reverence. You settle on a woven mat near a pile of ochre stones, your bare feet brushing the cool sand, the sunlight warming your skin as you watch an elder, a woman with eyes weathered by countless tales, lead a serpent's coil songline, her voice chanting a Goanna ancestor's journey to a sacred spring in a Warlpiri dialect. She sings with deliberate care her melody, a map to rest the other elders echoing softly their voices, a chorus of memory, guiding a young apprentice who listens intently clutching a carved stick. Historical records note that Aboriginal elders central to cultural preservation for over 60,000 years across regions like the Warlpiri and Yolngu lands served as custodians of songlines, maintaining oral traditions to ensure their calming wisdom survived for camps and festivals. You feel the weight of this stewardship, each note a spark, its melody, a sacred trust that holds the desert's soul far beyond the Renaissance potion chants guild councils. You smirk as a younger elder, a wise echo of the verse-haggling trader, fumbles a red ochre trail verse, mixing a waterhole's path with a ridge's trail, earning a gentle correction and a stifled chuckle from the group. Keep the path, storykeeper, you mutter, chuckling at her nod. The quirky truth is that some elders used memory stones, small rocks marked with symbols like a star or serpent to aid chant recall, with one story claiming a spring stone preserved a clan's songs during a flood. You picture Paulus from that Byzantine folder saga, groaning at a scroll full of stone-guided chants, and grin, but the humor fades as you see the elder's focus. Her chant a sacred duty, each note a story preserved for the future, not unlike the Malian griot's oral archives, though here it's songlines, not core myths that endure. The elder shifts now, chanting a moon's cradle tale, her voice tracing a dove ancestor's blessing of a healing site, the others joining in their harmony, a vow to keep the melody alive, passing it to the apprentice who nods with wide eyes. You lean closer, the spinifex's smoky scent grounding you, and feel the gravity of this preservation. The songlines not just paths, but a legacy tying the desert to its ancestors, its stars, its dreams. The act is both ritual and responsibility, the elders' voices ensuring every weary soul finds peace, their wisdom a shield against time's erosion. Historians still argue whether elders' preservation of songlines was primarily practical, ensuring path accuracy, or spiritual honoring the Dreamtime's calm. You're leaning towards spiritual, sensing the elders' reverence, her chant a prayer to the cosmos, like the Inca elders' potato chant preservation, though here it's desert trails, not tubers that carry the tale. You accept a sip of bush tea from a passerby, its tart tang grounding you, and try humming the Star Path verse, stumbling on the Warlpiri rhythm, earning a kind nod from the apprentice who taps the beat. You laugh softly, imagining archiving your family's stories for posterity. Yeah, you'd get digital dust blues and a mess. The Aboriginal craft is different. Its songlines a sacred archive far beyond the Byzantine folder's petty disputes over figs or camels, which seem trivial against this reverence. The gathering's quiet surrounds you, a distant bird's chirp, blending with the elders' chants. The desert's hum, a gentle backdrop, but the circle feels like a sanctuary, their voices a chorus that holds the past. You glance at the memory stones, their symbols resting beside the elder, their marks a guide for her chants, the apprentice studying them with care, learning to preserve the sacred. The younger elder tries again, her serpent's coil verse clearer, her voice steady, earning a nod from the group. You yawn, the sunlight's warmth and the elder's chants blending with the gathering's stillness, a soothing hum that tugs at your eyelids. You think back to that spring stone tale, its rhythm saving a clan's songs, and realize this preservation isn't just duty, It's devotion, each note a spark like the Polynesian navigators' memorized verses, both safeguarding stories for the future. The elders' harmony binds them each tale, a thread, their wisdom a tapestry of shared calm. You notice the apprentice, his chant tentative but growing bold, reciting a moon's cradle. Verse the elders' faint smile, a silent blessing, their work a vow to keep the songs alive. The gathering's warmth binds them each melody, a shared trust, their voices the true archive of the desert's art. You laugh again, picturing your local historian preserving old songs. Sorry pal, you'd flop with archive blues. The circle's rhythm holds you a promise of endurance. In the fleeting, its songline chants akin to the Inca potato chants, both crafting legacies through shared reverence, defying time's erosion. The eucalyptus feels like a hearth, its shade a shield against the day, and you're ready to feel the fragile thread of memory. You linger in the gathering, the elders' voices steady as they chant their melodies, fading into a gentle hum, like the desert's own breath. The trade routes and drought's chaos wait in memory, but the songline chants carry you a craft that feeds heart and soul. Their sacred calm, the spark you'll soon see in their fragile memory. You feel the weight of their stewardship, the gathering a haven in the light, and you're ready to explore the memory that holds these chants. The stars hide above their light, a gentle pull, and you drift closer to sleep, the scent of spinifex, and the chant's rhythm, a lullaby in the outback's endless day. You're still seated in the shaded gathering beneath the sprawling eucalyptus in the central desert thousands of years ago, where the midday light filters through leaves, casting a soft glow across the red sand, the air heavy with the scent of smoldering spinifex and the distant murmur of a gala. The elders' serpent's coil and moon's cradle songlines linger, their sacred preservation a tender memory. But now you sit quietly feeling the fragile thread of memory that holds these songlines, a delicate chain of voices, safeguarding the dreamtime's paths against the erosion of time, drought, and upheaval. The rustle of sand and the elders' murmured chants blend into a soothing hum, and you're ready to sense the weight of this fleeting legacy. You shift on your woven mat, your bare feet brushing the cool earth, the gathering stillness a cocoon as you watch the lead elder, a woman with a voice like a desert stream, chant a star path, songline her words tracing a Goanna ancestor's journey with careful precision, her tone heavy with the knowledge that these melodies live only in voices, not in stone or sand alone. The other elders echo softly their harmony, a vow to anchor the tale in memory, while a young apprentice listens, his eyes wide, with the burden of learning, his hands clutching a memory stone etched with a star. Historical records note the Aboriginal oral traditions, thriving for over 60,000 years across regions like the Warlpiri and Yolngu. Lands relied solely on communal memory, with songlines preserved through recitation making their narratives a fragile archive, carried by voices alone, unlike the Inca potato chants knotted quipus, but sharing their vulnerability. You smirk as the apprentice, a cautious echo of the memory stone elder, tries to memorize a red ochre trail verse, but stumbles mixing spring with ridge, earning a patient nod and a stifled giggle from another elder. Hold the myth, path mixer, you mutter, chuckling at his flushed cheeks. The quirky truth is that some elders taught anchor tones, short, repetitive hums like trail flows, star glows to help youth lock songlines in memory, with one tale claiming a spring tone saved a clan's chants during a sandstorm's chaos. You picture Paulus from that Byzantine folder saga, wincing at a scroll full of hummed tones and grin, but the humor fades as you see the elders' focus, her chant a desperate bid to preserve the songlines, their memory, a fragile thread against the desert's trials, not unlike the Malian griot's vulnerable oral tales. The elder pauses, her gaze distant as if hearing the voices of past singers, women, traders, scribes whose chants have kept these melodies alive through centuries of drought and migration. You lean closer, the spinifex's smoky scent blending with the faint tang of bush tea, and feel the weight of this task, the songline's survival, resting on voices that could falter in crisis or dispersal. The act is both sacred and precarious, the tale's a living archive that could vanish with a single generation's silence. Historians still argue whether the oral nature of songlines made them vulnerable, easily lost to disruption, or resilient, adaptable through communal memory. You're leaning toward vulnerable, sensing the elder's quiet fear, her work akin to the Inca scribe's quipu knots, both fragile in memory. though here it's voices, not chords, that hold the heart. You steady yourself on the mat, the apprentice now chanting a moon's cradle. Verse, his voice shaky but determined, practicing to hold the melody in his mind, not just on the elder's memory stones. You laugh softly, imagining memorizing your favorite songs as a kid. Yeah, you'd get lyric lapse blues and a mess. The Aboriginal craft is different. It's songlines of fleeting vessel for melodies that soothe sleepless nights far beyond the Byzantine folder's petty disputes over figs or camels, which seem trivial against this delicate memory. The gathering's hush surrounds you, a distant dingo's howl blending with the elders' voices, the trade routes hum, a faint echo, but the circle feels like a sanctuary, their voices a fragile chorus against time. You glance at the memory stones, their symbols deep with meaning, resting beside the elder, their marks a guide for the chants. But the true archive is the voices a chain as delicate as a desert breeze. The elder pauses, offering a nod to the apprentice, her eyes heavy with the burden of memory. The songlines a treasure she fears losing. You yawn, the sunlight's warmth, and the murmured verses blending with the gathering stillness, a soothing hum that tugs at your eyelids. You think back to that spring tone tale as verses saving a clan's legacy, and realize this memory isn't just preservation, it's survival. Each note a spark like the Polynesian navigator's oral chants, both clinging to life through voices. You notice the apprentice, his chant steadier now, reciting the red ochre trail without error. The elder's faint smile, a silent blessing, their work, a vow to keep the melodies alive. The gathering's warmth binds them each tale, a fragile link their voices, the true archive of the desert's art. You laugh again, picturing your local librarian memorizing desert tales. Sorry, pal. You'd flop with memory skip blues. The circle's rhythm holds you a promise of endurance. In the fleeting its songline chants akin to the Inca potato chants, both crafting legacies through shared memory, defying time's erosion. The eucalyptus feels like a hearth, its shade a shield against the day, and you're ready to face the shadow of colonization. You linger in the gathering, the elders' voices steady as they chant their melodies, fading into a gentle hum like the desert's own breath. The traders' routes and droughts' chaos wait in memory, but the songline chants carry you a craft that feeds heart and soul. Their fragile memory, the spark you'll soon see, threatened by colonization's tide. You feel the weight of their vulnerability, the gathering a haven in the light, and you're ready to see how intrusion challenges these stories. The stars hide above their light, a gentle pull, and you drift closer to sleep, the scent of spinifex and the chant's rhythm, a lullaby in the outback's endless day. You've left the gathering's sacred chants behind their elders' voices, now a tender memory, and find yourself in a quiet desert camp in Australia's central desert around the late 18th century, where the once vibrant songline trails are cloaked in unease. The air heavy with the scent of dust and the distant murmur of foreign voices, European settlers encroaching on the land. The night sky glimmers with stars, but the camp feels tense, its people wary of colonization's tide, which threatens the songlines of Starpath and Moon's Cradle, their melodies at risk of being drowned out by alien tongues and decrees against sacred rites. You're here to see the shadow of colonization, how these dreamtime lullabies face disruption, their survival hanging by the fragile thread of memory in a world reshaped by intrusion. The distant crackle of a fire and a whispered chant blend into a somber hum, and you're ready to feel this struggle. You slip into the camp's edge, your bare feet silent on the cooling sand, the eucalyptus trees casting long shadows as you find a small group huddled around a smoldering fire, their faces taut with resolve. An elder woman, her eyes fierce with defiance, chants a serpent's coil songline in a hushed Warlpiri dialect, her voice barely audible to avoid settler ears, weaving a myth of the rainbow serpent enduring a storm. Historical records note that European colonization beginning in the late 18th century disrupted Aboriginal traditions across Australia, with settlers in regions like the Central Desert imposing foreign laws and land claims suppressing sacred practices like songlines in favor of European dominance, threatening their survival. You feel the weight of this threat, each note, a spark its melody, a flickering flame against encroaching loss, far beyond the Renaissance potion chants, Reformation struggles. You smirk as a young apprentice, a cautious echo of the path-mixing youth, tries to join the chant, but whispers too loudly, his red ochre trail verse drawing a hushed warning from the elder, his wide eyes reflecting the fire's glow. "Keep it soft, Shadow Singer," you mutter, chuckling at his quick nod. The quirky truth is that some clans hid their songlines in veiled weaves, blending sacred tales into work songs about hunting or gathering to evade settler scrutiny, preserving their melodies in secret. One tale claims a spring veil chant kept a clan's songs alive during a missionary patrol. You picture Paulus from that Byzantine folder saga, groaning at a scroll full of covert weaves, and grin. But the humor fades as you see the elder's tension, her song, a fragile thread, its melody a quiet rebellion against colonial decrees, not unlike the Inca farmers' hidden potato chants under Spanish rule. The elder's voice lowers now, chanting a moon's cradle tale, her melody barely audible, syncing with the faint breeze's rhythm, the group echoing softly their voices, a secret vow to keep the songlines alive. You lean closer, the fire's faint warmth battling the night's chill, and feel the urgency of this act. The songlines not just paths, but a lifeline. Their music, a whisper of Aboriginal identity in a camp under colonial siege. The camp is a refuge, its shadows hiding the chanters from prying ears. Yet the weight of change presses in a distant settler's shout, echoing from the trails. Historians still argue whether colonization erased Aboriginal songlines or drove them underground, preserved in secret by resilient communities. You're leaning toward underground, sensing the elder's defiance, her chant akin to the Malian griot's hidden songs under foreign pressure, both guarding their soul through stealth. You steady yourself against a rock, the elder's chant unwavering, now weaving a star's veil. Verse, its quick notes, a veiled weave disguised as a gathering song, the group's voices soft but resolute, guarding the melody from foreign ears. You laugh softly, imagining hiding your favorite playlists from a nosy neighbor, yeah. You'd get covert track blues and caught. The Aboriginal craft is different. Its songlines a secret fortress far beyond the Byzantine folder's petty disputes over figs or camels which seem trivial against this fight for heritage. The camp's tension surrounds you, a settler's cart rumbling in the distance, but the fire holds firm the elder's voice, a thread of light in the dark. You glance at the group, their chants serpents, stars, springs, barely whispered, each one a fragile defiance shared among the huddled few. The apprentice recites his red ochre trail again, quieter now, his voice a spark of hope, drawing a nod from the elder, her eyes unyielding. You yawn, the fires flicker, and the whispered chants blending with the camp's hushed fear, a soothing hum that tugs at your eyelids despite the strain. You think back to that spring veil chant, its secrecy a lifeline, and realize these songs aren't just paths, they're resistance, each note a spark like the Polynesian navigator's secret chants, both preserving their soul through stealth. You notice an elder man, his swag tight, joining the chant, his voice faint but firm, the moon's cradle verse a shared vow against colonial shadow. The elder woman's voice never falters her melody, a gift that outshines the camp's peril, binding this tiny refuge. You laugh again, picturing your local band hiding songs from a new trend, sorry mates, you'd flop with band beat blues. The camp's rhythm holds you a promise of survival in the fleeting, its songline chants akin to the Inca potato chants, both crafting hope through whispered art, defying time's erosion. The fire feels like a hearth, its warmth a shield against the night, and you're ready to see the desert's resilience shine. You linger in the camp, the elder's voice steady as she chants the verses, fading into a gentle hum, like the desert's own breath. The colonial threat looms beyond, but the songline chants carry you a craft that feeds heart and soul, their defiance the spark you'll soon see in their resilience. You feel the weight of their struggle, the camp a haven in the dark, and you're ready to witness their enduring spirit. The stars gleam above their light, a gentle pull, and you drift closer to sleep, the scent of spinifex, and the chant's rhythm, a lullaby in the outback's endless night. You're still crouched at the edge of the desert camp in the central desert around the late 18th century, where the night air hums with the faint rustle of eucalyptus and the soft glow of a smoldering fire, its light barely piercing the shadows of encroaching settler presence. The tension of colonization lingers with foreign voices, echoing beyond the camp, yet within this refuge, a small group of clans chant softly their red ochre trail and Stars Veil songlines, a defiant heartbeat against the threat of erasure. You're here to witness their resilience. how these Aboriginal communities reclaim their sacred songlines, preserving the myths of ancestral paths and desert springs through secrecy and spirit, ensuring their legacy endures. The fires flicker and the clan's whispered verses blend into a soothing hum, and you're ready to feel their enduring strength. You edge closer to the fire, your bare feet silent on the cooling sand. Its warmth a fragile shield against the night's chill as you watch the elder woman, her eyes like a desert storm, chant a moon's cradle songline in a hushed Warlpiri dialect, her voice low to evade settler patrols, recounting a dove ancestor's triumph over hardship. Her melody, a veiled weave disguised as a gathering song, guides the group's quiet echoes, their voices, a vow to keep the desert's soul alive. Historical records note that despite colonization's onset in the late 18th century, Aboriginal communities, especially in regions like the Warlpiri and Anangu lands, preserved songlines in secret gatherings, defying settler suppression to maintain their heritage through oral tradition. You feel the weight of their courage, each note a spark its melody, a rebellion against cultural loss, not unlike the Inca farmers' defiance under Spanish rule. You smirk as the young apprentice, that shadow-singing path mixer, tries to mimic the serpent's coil verse, but stumbles, his whisper too eager, earning a gentle hush from an elder man, his eyes wide with determination. "Keep it steady, star whisperer," you mutter, chuckling at his quick nod. The quirky truth is that some clans embedded myth cues in their songlines, subtle phrases like "sand sways," "spring stays," to signal a hidden tale within a work song, fooling settler overseers. One tale claims a trail cue chant preserved a clan's myths through a forced relocation. You picture Paulus from that Byzantine folder saga, groaning at a scroll full of cued myths, and grin, but the humor fades as you see the elder's focus, her chant a lifeline, its melody a shield against colonization's erasure, echoing the Renaissance potion chant's hidden bruise under Reformation's shadow. The elder's voice strengthens now, weaving a red ochre trail tale, her melody syncing with a faint night breeze. The group's voices joining in a quiet chorus, their harmony a vow to reclaim their heritage, despite the settler shouts beyond. You lean in the fire's glow, warming your face, and feel the power of this resilience. The songlines not just paths, but a testament to Aboriginal identity, their music a whispered defiance in a world of cultural upheaval. The act is both resistance and renewal, the chant's rhythms tying the group to their ancestors, their land, their nights. Historians still argue whether this resilience stemmed from cultural pride, preserving Aboriginal identity, or survival, ensuring paths for future wanderers. You're leaning toward pride, sensing the elder's unyielding spirit, her chant akin to the Malian griot's defiance, both holding fast through adversity, though here it's songlines, not kora songs, that carry the heart. You brace against a rock, the elder's chant unwavering, now weaving a star path, verse its quick notes, disguised as a hunting song. The group's voices steady, guarding the melody from foreign ears. You laugh softly, imagining hiding your favorite books from a nosy roommate. Yeah, you'd get sneaky page blues and busted. The Aboriginal craft is different, its songlines a fortress of memory, far beyond the Byzantine folder's petty disputes over figs or camels, which seem trivial against this fight for heritage. The camp's secrecy surrounds you, a distant settler's call fading, but the elders' voices hold firm their melody, a thread of light in the dark. You glance at the group, their chant serpent stars trails whispered, but fierce, each one a silent stand shared among the huddled few. The elder man, his swag tight, joins the moon's cradle chant, his voice resolute, drawing a nod from the elder woman, their bond forged in defiance. You yawn, the fire's flicker, and the murmured verses blending with the camp's hushed tension, a soothing hum that tugs at your eyelids. You think back to that trail cue chant, its secrecy, a lifeline, and realize this resilience isn't just survival, it's legacy, each note a spark like the Inca farmers' hidden potato chants, both guarding their soul through stealth. You notice the young apprentice, his chant softer now, leading a red ochre trail verse with care, his voice a spark of hope, learning to carry the tradition forward. The elder woman's melody never falters her song, a gift that outshines colonization's shadow, binding this fragile refuge. You laugh again, picturing your local poet smuggling tales past a ban. Sorry, mate, you'd flop with censored rhyme blues. The The camp's rhythm holds you a promise of endurance in the fleeting, its songline chants akin to the Renaissance potion chants, both crafting hope through secret art, defying time's erosion. The fire feels like a hearth, its warmth a shield against the night, and you're ready to hear these songs echo in today's world. You linger in the camp, the elder's voice steady, as she chants the verses fading into a gentle hum, like the desert's own breath. The colonial threat looms beyond, but the songline chants carry you a craft that feeds heart and soul. Their resilience, the spark you'll soon see in modern echoes. You feel the weight of their defiance, the camp a haven in the dark, and you're ready to explore their lasting legacy. The stars gleam above their light, a gentle pull, and you drift closer to sleep, the scent of eucalyptus and the chant's rhythm, a lullaby in the outback's endless night. You've left the desert camp's hidden chants behind their firelit resilience, now a distant memory, and find yourself seated in a vibrant cultural center, perhaps in Alice Springs, or a global hub like Sydney in May 2025, where the air hums with the scent of eucalyptus incense and the soft glow of digital screens displaying ancient rock art. The walls are adorned with ochre paintings, and a touchscreen nearby showcases songlines, their moon's cradle, and starpath tales glowing in modern light. You're here to hear these Aboriginal songlines echo in today's world, where elders, artists, and youth blend myths of starry trails and sacred springs with contemporary platforms, preserving their heritage from colonial shadows to global audiences. The murmur of a workshop and the rhythm of a chanted tale blend into a soothing hum, and you're ready to trace this living legacy. You settle into a cushioned chair, your sneakers scuffing the polished floor, the center's warm light illuminating a tablet displaying a translated red ochre trail songline, its words recounting a kangaroo ancestor's triumph over drought, a melody once whispered under settler threat. A nearby elder reads aloud, her voice echoing the Warlpiri rhythm, while students record the session on their phones, blending ancient myth with digital archives. Historical records note that since the 20th century, Aboriginal songlines have been revived through cultural preservation efforts, with communities in regions like the Warlpiri and Yolngu lands inspiring modern practices and recordings across Australia and beyond, reclaiming chants suppressed by colonization. You feel the vibrancy of this revival, each tale a spark its melody, a thread linking ancient trails to today's centers far beyond the Renaissance, potion chants modern echoes. You smirk as a teenage volunteer, a tech-savvy echo of the star-whispering apprentice tries to share the serpent's coil tale on a podcast, but flubs the pronunciation, giggling as her friend corrects her with a grin. "Keep it ancient, pod chanter," you mutter, chuckling at her playful shrug. The quirky truth is that some cultural centers host songline jams, where youth remix chants with didgeridoo, beats blending starpath verses with ambient tracks, with a 2024 Alice Springs Events Desert Trap going viral, inspiring global audiences to explore Dreamtime heritage. You picture Paulus from that Byzantine folder saga, groaning at a scroll full of podcasted myths, and grin. But the humor fades as you see the elder's pride, her reading a living echo, its melody, a bridge across centuries, not unlike the Malian griot's modern Kora revivals. The elder shifts to a moon's cradle tale, sharing it with the students, their voices testing the Warlpiri rhythm, their phones uploading the chant to a global cultural database, blending tradition with tech. You lean closer, the eucalyptus's earthy aroma mingling with woven baskets, and accept a bush plum cookie from a facilitator, its tart taste grounding you as you hum the red ochre trail verse, stumbling but earning a nod. You laugh softly, imagining posting a songline chant on social media. Yeah, you'd get low likes, blues, and a flop. The Aboriginal craft is different. Its songlines a cultural heartbeat far beyond the Byzantine folder's petty disputes over figs or camels, which seem trivial against this vibrant legacy. The center's buzz surrounds you, a child sketching a goanna, a printer's hum, but the elders' readings are beacons, their melodies sparking connection in a digital age. You wander to a workshop table where an elder man demonstrates a Star's Veil tale via a touchscreen, his voice strong teaching students who echo it back their laptops, archiving the story for an online cultural project. The act is a testament, the tales not just myths, but a vow to endure their music uniting past and present, despite colonial scars. Historians still argue whether modern songline chants are a true revival, rooted in ancient practice, or a reimagination shaped by cultural pride. You're leaning toward revival, sensing the elder's connection to desert singers, his chant akin to the Inca farmer's modern potato chants, both enduring through adaptation, though here it's desert paths, not tubers that carry the soul. You sit by the table, the cookie's sweetness lingering, the elder's chants, serpents, stars, springs, rising with the center's quiet, each one a verse carried from ancient camps to today's archives shared across classrooms and screens. The teenage volunteer now boulder posts, a moon's cradle clip, her chant syncing with a beat drawing likes from afar. You yawn, the baskets rustle, and the elder's chants blending with the hum of a nearby fan, a soothing hum that tugs at your eyelids. You think back to that desert trap performance, its echo spreading like the Persian baker's viral loaves, and realize this craft isn't just memory, it's renewal, each note a spark weaving tradition into the present. You notice a student reciting a serpent's coil tale via a voice app, her voice clear, the elder nodding, their exchange a vow to keep the myths alive. The center's warmth binds them, each tale a shared story, their voices a legacy that carries the desert's heart. You laugh again, picturing your local book club chanting desert myths. Sorry folks, you'd flop with jumbled verse blues. The center's rhythm holds you a promise of continuity. In the fleeting, its songline chants, akin to the Inca potato chants, both crafting bonds through shared art, defying time's erosion. The table feels like a hearth, its warmth, a shield against the day, and you're ready to compare this craft to modern navigation tools. You linger in the center, the elder's voice steady as she chants, the verses fading into a gentle hum, like the desert's own breath. The colonial shadows and ancient trades wait in memory, but the songline chants carry you a craft that feeds heart and soul. Their modern echoes, the spark you'll soon see in today's tools. You feel the weight of their resilience. The center a haven in the light, and you're ready to explore how technology meets these myths. The stars hide above their light, a gentle pull, and you drift closer to sleep, the scent of eucalyptus and the chant's rhythm, a lullaby in the outback's endless day. You're still nestled in the vibrant cultural center, perhaps in Alice Springs or Sydney in May 2025, where the air hums with the scent of eucalyptus incense and the faint glow of digital screens displaying ancient rock art. The quiet chatter of students and the soft rustle of woven baskets fill the space, but your attention is drawn to a touchscreen tablet showcasing a red ochre trail songline, its ancient rhythm blending with the buzz of a nearby navigation app mapping desert trails. You're here to compare these timeless Aboriginal songlines to modern navigation tools, as elders and youth weave myths of starry paths with GPS apps and digital archives balancing tradition with today's technology. The clack of keyboards and the murmur of a narrated myth blend into a soothing hum, and you're ready to feel this fusion. You settle back into your cushioned chair, your sneakers brushing the polished floor, the center's light warming you as you watch an elder woman, her voice a gentle echo of the desert. Read a Starpath songline from a translated manuscript, her cadence echoing the Warlpiri rhythm while she checks a GPS app on her phone, its coordinates syncing with the chant's sacred spring. Historical records note that since the 21st century, Aboriginal songlines have been integrated into digital platforms, with apps and virtual archives mapping traditional paths for communities in regions like the Warlpiri and Yolngu lands, blending their calming myths with modern tools like GPS and augmented reality to preserve and share heritage globally. You feel the tension of this blend, each tale a spark, its melody teetering between ancestral wisdom and digital precision far beyond the Renaissance potion chant's tech-aided brews. You smirk as the teenage volunteer, that pod-chanting path whisperer, tries to sync a moon's cradle verse to a navigation app's audio guide, but fumbles the rhythm, earning a playful nudge from a friend. Keep it mythic, tech-tangler, you mutter, chuckling at her grin. The quirky truth is that some navigation apps now feature songline mode, layering ambient sounds like clapsticks or desert winds with narrated chants, with a 2024 app syncing a serpent's coil tale to GPS trails, gaining traction in cultural tourism. You picture Paula's from that Byzantine folder saga groaning at a scroll full of app-synced myths and grin, but the humor fades as you see the elder's focus, Her chant, a warm thread against technology's chill, its melody, a bridge between ancient camps and modern screens, not unlike the Malian griot's digital Korra adaptations. The elder shifts to a serpent's coil tale, her voice rising with the myth's cadence. But she adjusts the app's audio volume, syncing the story's rhythm with a soft didgeridoo hum, the student's earbuds echoing the blend of chant and tech. You lean closer, the eucalyptus's earthy aroma curling around you, and accept another bush plum cookie from the facilitator, its tart crunch grounding you as you hum the star path, verse stumbling but earning a nod. You laugh softly, imagining navigating your city with a GPS tracker. Yeah, you'd get data overload, blues, and lost. The Aboriginal craft is different. Its songlines a vibrant fusion far beyond the Byzantine folder's petty disputes over figs or camels, which seem trivial against this modern dance of tradition and tech. The center's hum surrounds you, a student's stylus tapping a tablet, a fan's whir, but the elders' chants remain beacons grounding the digital age. You wander to a digital archive station where an elder man demonstrates a moon's cradle tale via a navigation app, his voice clear, using a touchscreen to highlight ancestral symbols, the student streaming it live to a cultural webinar. The act feels layered, his chant roots it in the desert's past, but the app's interface ties it to global travelers, a balance of heart and reach. Historians still argue whether technology enhances songlines, preserving them through digital archives, or risks diluting their sacredness, turning myths into data. You're leaning toward enhancement, sensing the elder's pride, his chant akin to the Inca farmer's tech-aided potato chants, both adapting to modernity while guarding their soul, though here it's desert paths, not tubers that hold the art. You sit by the station, the cookie's sweetness lingering, the elder's chants, serpents, stars, springs, rising with the center's quiet, each one a verse blending ancient wisdom with digital tools shared across apps and webinars. The teenage volunteer now Boulder uploads a Red Ochre Trail remix, her chant syncing with an app's rhythm drawing virtual cheers. You yawn, the screen's glow, and the elder's chants blending with the hum of a nearby printer, a soothing hum that tugs at your eyelids. You think back to that Songline Mode app, its tech-crafted verse a modern echo, and realize this craft isn't just preservation, it's evolution. Each note a spark like the Persian baker's 3D printed loaves, both weaving tradition into the future. You notice a student testing a serpent's coil tail on a navigation app, her voice clear, the elder nodding their exchange, a vow to keep the myths alive. The center's warmth binds them, each tale a shared story, their voices a legacy that carries the desert's heart. You laugh again, picturing your local tour guide using songline apps. Sorry, mate. You'd flop with glitchy route blues. The center's rhythm holds you a promise of balance. In the fleeting, its songline chants akin to the Inca potato chants, both crafting bonds through shared art, defying time's erosion. The station feels like a hearth, its warmth a shield against the day, and you're ready to join the cultural revival of these songs. You linger in the center, the elder's voice steady as she chants, the verses fading into a gentle hum, like the desert's own breath. The colonial shadows and ancient camps wait in memory, but the songline chants carry you a craft that feeds heart and soul. Their tech-enhanced echoes the spark you'll soon see in their revival. You feel the weight of their adaptation, the center a haven in the light, and you're ready to explore the resurgence of these soothing myths. The stars hide above their light, a gentle pull, and you drift closer to sleep, the scent of eucalyptus and the chant's rhythm, a lullaby in the outback's endless day. You've left the cultural center's cozy warmth behind its digital myths, now a gentle echo, and find yourself standing in a sunlit plaza, perhaps in Alice Springs, or a global hub like Melbourne in May 2025, where a cultural festival pulses with the rhythm of didgeridoos and the scent of eucalyptus-infused damper and bush tea. The crowd gathers around a stage where elders, artists, and youth unite in a revival of Aboriginal songlines, their Red Ochre Trail, and Moon's Cradle Tales soaring a testament to the resurgence of this ancient craft. You're here to join this revival, where songs once whispered in secret against colonial tides sing boldly again, weaving the Dreamtime's past into the present, through performances, workshops, and shared melodies across global communities. The beat of clapsticks and the artist's harmonious chants blend into a soothing hum, and you're ready to feel this rebirth. You settle on a woven blanket, your sneakers tucked beside you, the plaza's warmth grounding you as you watch a young artist, her eyes bright with passion, lead a Starpath songline in a translated Walpiri rhythm, chanting a Gowana ancestor's triumph over drought. She guides a group of students who echo her with focus their smartphones, recording the myth for a digital archive, while elders nod their voices, weaving in blending tradition with the buzz of modern tools. Historical records note that since the late 20th century, Aboriginal songlines have seen a cultural revival sparked by global interest and preservation efforts, with festivals in regions like the Central Desert reclaiming chants from colonial suppression for modern audiences. You feel the vibrancy of this revival, each tale a spark, its melody, a bridge from ancient camps to today's stages far beyond the Renaissance, potion chants festival resurgence. You smirk as a teenage boy. A digital echo of the tech-tangling volunteer tries to livestream his serpent's coil chant, but flubs a verse giggling as his friends cheer him on with claps. Keep it smooth, myth streamer, you mutter, chuckling at his playful shrug. The quirky truth is that some revival workshops use augmented reality headsets to simulate desert trails, teaching songlines by immersing learners in digital outback nights, with a 2024 AR program featuring a moon's cradle chant boosting engagement in cultural schools. You picture Paulus from that Byzantine folder saga, wincing at a scroll full of AR myths and grin, but the humor fades as you see the elders' pride, their chants, a living art, their melodies a spark that defies centuries of silence. Not unlike the Malian Griot's Kora Festival revivals, the young artist shifts to a red ochre trail tale, her voice rising with the myth's rhythm, the students harmonizing their hands, tracing story arcs in the air, their phones uploading the moment to a global cultural heritage site. You lean closer, the eucalyptus's earthy aroma curling around you, and accept a piece of bush damper from a vendor, its warm taste grounding you as you hum the Starpath verse, stumbling but earning a clap from a girl. You laugh softly, imagining reviving your childhood bedtime stories with AR. Yeah, you'd get glitchy nostalgia blues and a mess. The Aboriginal revival is different, its songlines a vibrant thread far beyond the Byzantine folder's petty disputes over figs or camels, which seem trivial against this cultural awakening. The festival's energy surrounds you, a child's laughter, rising a drone filming the stage, but the artist's songs are beacons, their melodies sparking connection in a digital age. You wander to a workshop tent where elders teach a moon's cradle chant, their voices guiding youth who practice with carved path tokens, their tablets archiving the melody for future generations. The act is a celebration, the songs not just paths, but a vow to reclaim identity, uniting communities across the globe. Historians still argue whether this revival is primarily cultural preserving Aboriginal heritage or practical equipping modern navigators with ancestral skills. You're leaning toward cultural sensing the festival's passion, their chants akin to the Inca potato chant revivals, both reclaiming identity through shared art, though here it's desert paths, not tubers, that carry the soul. You sit by the tent, the damper's warmth lingering. The artist chants, stars, serpents, springs, rising with the plaza's breeze, each one a verse revived from ancient camps, shared across workshops and screens. The teenage boy, now confident, live streams, his red ochre trail chant, his voice clear, drawing virtual applause from afar. You yawn, the clapsticks beat, and the workshop's chants blending with the festival's lively buzz, a soothing hum that tugs at your eyelids. You think back to that Moon's Cradle AR program, its digital verse, a modern spark, and realize this revival isn't just preservation, it's rebirth. Each note a spark like the Persian baker's festival loaves, both weaving tradition into the present. You notice an elder sharing a serpent's coil tale, her voice steady, the young artist nodding their exchange a vow to keep the myths alive. The tense warmth binds them, each tale, a shared story, their voices a legacy that carries the desert's heart. You laugh again, picturing your local festival with AR songline karaoke, sorry folks. You'd flop with pixelated pitch blues. The workshop's rhythm holds you a promise of renewal. In the fleeting, its songline chants akin to the Inca potato chants, both crafting bonds through shared art, defying time's erosion. The plaza feels like a hearth, its warmth a shield against the dusk, and you're ready to reflect on the global wisdom of these songs. You linger in the festival, the artists' voices steady as they chant their melodies, fading into a gentle hum like the desert's own breath. The colonial shadows and modern apps wait in memory, but the songline chants carry you a craft that feeds heart and soul. Their revival, the spark you'll soon see in universal lessons. You feel the weight of their passion, the plaza a haven in the light, and you're ready to explore the timeless wisdom of these myths. The stars hide above their light, a gentle pull, and you drift closer to sleep, the scent of eucalyptus and the tale's rhythm, a lullaby in the outback's endless day. You've left the festival's lively plaza behind its rhythmic songlines, now a warm memory, and find yourself seated on a grassy hill overlooking a modern city, perhaps Alice Springs or Melbourne. In May 2025, where the twilight sky shimmers with the first stars, their light mingling with the city's gentle glow below. The air is cool, scented with eucalyptus and distant desert dust. The faint hum of evening traffic, a soft backdrop to the echo of Moon's Cradle and red ochre trail tales lingering in your heart. You're here to reflect on the global wisdom of these Aboriginal songlines, their lessons of resilience, memory, and connection resonating far beyond the central desert, offering truths for a world navigating change. The rustle of grass and the faint murmur of a distant chant blend into a soothing hum, and you're ready to trace this universal light. You settle on the soft earth, your jacket, a cushion. The horizon's glow fading as you think of the Aboriginal songlines craft weaving tales through centuries of drought colonization and modern revival. These chants with their star path and serpent's coil verses carry wisdom that transcends their origins, resilience like the clan's defiance against settler hymns, memory preserved in fragile voices, and connection binding communities through shared myths. Historical records note that Aboriginal oral traditions rooted in songlines for over 60,000 years across regions like the Warlpiri and Yolngu lands reflect a deep cultural resilience, their lullabies adapting to challenges like colonial upheaval and time offering a model for global communities facing modern crises like cultural erosion or digital overload. You feel the weight of these lessons, each note, a spark, its wisdom, a guide for any soul charting uncertain paths far beyond the Renaissance potion chant's herbal wisdom. You smirk imagining the teenage myth streamer teaching her Moon's Cradle chant to a London classroom, her TikTok flair probably sparking more laughs than awe. Keep it universal, story poet, you mutter, chuckling at the thought. The quirky truth is that Aboriginal songlines have inspired global cultural initiatives, with artists in Europe and Asia citing their structure. One 2024 project in Berlin, adapting a Star Path tale for a mindfulness workshop. You picture Paulus from that Byzantine folder saga wincing at a scroll, full of global myths and grin, but the humor fades as you feel the songlines reach. Their lessons a beacon for a fragmented world, unlike the folder's fleeting disputes over figs or camels which seem trivial against this timeless wisdom. The wisdom lies in harmony, resilience to endure like the singer's veiled weaves through colonial tides, memory to hold fast like the elders' memory stones and children's rhymes, connection to unite like the festivals and traded tales binding desert clans. You think of the desert elders' red ochre trail, its verse a reminder to adapt yet stay rooted, a lesson for communities facing global shifts or fading traditions. In a world of fleeting trends and digital noise, this wisdom feels vital, a call to weave art into survival, to listen to the past. Historians still argue whether the songline's lessons are universal, applicable globally, or tied to the desert's unique culture, a treasure not easily shared. You're leaning toward universal feeling, their truths echo in every struggle to endure, like the Inca potato chants, shared stories, both guiding through communal bonds, though here it's desert paths, not tubers that carry the heart. You lean back, the stars brightening their patterns, a map the Aboriginal singers wove into eternity, a reminder of humanity's shared sky. The modern revival, with its AR workshops and podcasted chants, shows adaptation without loss, a lesson for societies balancing tech and tradition. You laugh softly, imagining applying this wisdom to your life. Yeah, you'd be humming work, stress blues, and stuck. The Aboriginal craft is a gift, its lessons of memory and connection a guide where the Byzantine folder's rigid system crumbled. You think back to that Berlin Star Path project, its chant a global spark, and see the song's heart a way to navigate life's storms, with grace uniting us all. The hill's silence wraps you broken by a distant car's hum. The songlines echo, a memory in your soul. You picture the festival, the young girl's bold moon's cradle, the elders' proud nod, and feel their wisdom ripple outward to classrooms, festivals, hearts, wherever people seek to endure and connect. You yawn, the breezes whisper, and the stars' quiet glow, blending with the city's faint hum, a soothing hum that pulls you deeper. The songline's lessons are a bridge, linking Aboriginal singers to your world, a reminder to hold memory tight, to weave art into survival, no matter the tempest, like the Malian griot's core of verses. You glance at the city below, where lights gleam, their songline chants echoing across borders, ready for journeys yet to come. The stars feel closer, their light, a universal map tying you to the dream time, two ancestors to all who chant the night's myths. You feel a pang remembering the Byzantine folders fall, but the songline melodies endure their resilience, a beacon in your heart. You laugh again, picturing botching a serpent's coil chant at a campfire. Sorry, storyteller, I'm no myth chanter. The chant's echo holds you its wisdom, a promise of guidance. You linger on the hill, the artist's voices a distant hum in your memory, their verses fading into the twilight's gentle breath. The world stretches vast, its challenges unending. But the Aboriginal songline's wisdom lights a path for all who listen, carrying us where others might falter. You feel the weight of their lessons, the hill, a haven in the dusk, and you're ready to hear the timeless voice of this craft. The stars guide you, their light, a gentle pull, and you drift closer to sleep, the scent of eucalyptus and the chant's rhythm, a lullaby in the outback's endless night. You're still perched on the grassy hill overlooking the modern city, perhaps Alice Springs or Melbourne, in May 2025, the twilight deepening into a velvet night, where stars blaze above their patterns, a celestial score mirrored in the city's gentle glow below. The air is cool, scented with eucalyptus and distant desert dust, the faint hum of traffic carrying whispers of red ochre trail and moon's cradle tales from the festival's revival. You're here to connect the past starlit melodies to future dreams, the timeless voice of these Aboriginal songlines, weaving a thread from ancient desert camps to generations yet to sing their myths. The rustle of grass and the soft hum of a distant chant blend into a soothing cadence, and you're ready to feel this eternal flow. You settle deeper into the earth, your jacket, a soft cradle, the star's light, a gentle guide as you think of the Aboriginal songlines, their verses of Star Path and Serpent's Coil, sung through centuries of drought, colonization, and digital rebirth. This craft speaks across time, resilience against cultural tides, memory preserved in voices, hope for a world where tradition and innovation chant together. Historical records note that Aboriginal oral traditions, rooted in songlines for over 60,000 years, across regions like the Warlpiri and Yolngu lands, have endured through adaptation, their lullabies surviving suppression to inspire modern audiences and beyond, a testament to cultural continuity. You feel the timelessness of this voice, each tale a spark, its melody binding the past's desert trails to the future's dreams, guiding through uncertainty, like a starlit path far beyond the Renaissance potion chant's enduring legacy. You smirk, imagining the teenage myth streamer teaching her Star's Veil chant to her own children someday, perhaps with a holographic app projecting desert trails, her TikTok hashtags long faded, but her melody alive. Keep it timeless, verse weaver, you mutter, chuckling at the thought. The quirky truth is that modern cultural leaders envision smart songline archives, where AI aids communities by suggesting chant variations, with a 2024 prototype syncing a red ochre trail melody to real-time translations for global audiences. You picture Paulus from that Byzantine folder saga, wincing at a scroll full of AI-guided myths, and grin, but the humor softens as you feel the songline's eternal voice. Their verses a bridge from ancient festivals to future gatherings, like the Malian griot's Kora songs, linking past to present, though here it's desert paths, not strings, that carry the soul. The timeless voice sings of connection to the land, the stars, each other, a lesson for a world racing toward disconnection. You think of the festival's moon's cradle chant, its verse a promise to endure and see its hope, a future where storytellers like the center's youth carry these melodies, blending them with tech to weave new dreams. The resilience of this craft, from hidden desert camps to AR apps, offers a vow that memory and community can outlast any storm. Historians still argue whether Aboriginal songlines will remain a living art shaping future dreams or become a cherished relic preserved but static. You're leaning toward living art, feeling the festival's spark, its verses akin to the Inca potato chant's Eternal Heart, both guiding through adaptation, though here it's songlines, not tubers, that endure. You lean back, the stars blazing their map, a mirror of the songline's chants, a reminder that every verse from Stars Vale to Red Ochre Trail is a gift across time. The modern revival, with its songline jams and live-stream tales, shows a future where stories live in schools, homes, and hearts, a hope for generations to come. You laugh softly, imagining your own future. Yeah, you'd be mumbling app crash blues instead of a starry myth. The Aboriginal craft is a beacon, its voice, a reminder to hold traditions tight while embracing change, a wisdom that outshines the Byzantine folder's fragile disputes lost to chaos, while these songlines endure. The hill's silence enfolds you, broken by a distant owl's call. The songlines echo, a memory in your soul. You picture the festival, the young girl's steady red ochre, trail the elders' trust, and feel their voice ripple forward to future artists, poets, dreamers, all chanting the night's myths. You yawn, the breezes whisper, and the stars glow, blending with the city's faint hum, a soothing hum that pulls you deeper. You think of that Red Ochre Trail AI prototype, its spark carried through time, and see the songlines, timeless heart, a melody of hope, connecting past to future, desert to world, like the Polynesian navigator's river of song. You glance at the city below, where lights gleam, their songline chants echoing into tomorrow, ready for journeys yet unseen. The stars feel alive, their light, a universal map tying you to the dreamtime, to ancestors, to futures unborn. You feel a pang remembering the Byzantine folder's fall, but the songline melodies endure their resilience, a beacon in your heart. You laugh again, picturing botching a moon's cradle chant in your backyard. Sorry, storyteller, I'm no myth chanter. The chant's echo holds you, its voice, a promise of guidance. You linger on the hill, the artist's voices, a gentle hum in your memory, their verses fading into the night's soft breath. The world stretches vast, its puzzles unending, but the Aboriginal songline's timeless voice lights a path for all who listen, carrying us where others might falter. You feel the weight of their hope, the hill a haven in the dark, and you're ready to drift into dreams, carried by this celestial song. The stars guide you, their light, a gentle pull, and you sink closer to sleep, the scent of eucalyptus, and the chant's rhythm, a lullaby in the outback's endless night. You're resting on the grassy hill, overlooking the modern city, perhaps Alice Springs or Melbourne, in May 2025. The night now, deep the stars above, a shimmering tapestry that mirrors the city's gentle glow below, where the faint echo of Red Ochre Trail and Star Path tales lingers from the festival's revival. The air is cool, scented with eucalyptus and distant desert dust, the soft hum of traffic, a tender lullaby carrying whispers of moon's cradle and serpent's coil. You're here to drift into dreams, letting the timeless voice of Aboriginal songlines carry you to rest, their melodies, a soothing embrace for your weary soul, weaving past, present, and future into one. The rustle of grass and the chant's rhythm blend into a soothing cadence, and you're ready to surrender to their peace. You sink deeper into the earth, your jacket, a cocoon, the star's light, a gentle blanket as you think of the Aboriginal songlines, their golden verses woven through centuries of desert camps, colonial shadows, and modern rebirth. You see the ancient singer by her eucalyptus tree, her moon's cradle tale defying drought's grip, the trader sharing a star path melody across dusty roots, the modern festival's young poet live-streaming her Red Ochre Trail verse, each a note in a timeless song. Historical records note that Aboriginal oral traditions born over 60,000 years ago across regions like the Warlpiri and Yolngu lands remain a cultural heartbeat, their lullabies enduring through hardship, suppression, and adaptation, a testament to human spirit across Australia and beyond. You feel their warmth, each melody a promise that shines like the stars, unlike the Byzantine folder's papyrus lost to dust, or the Renaissance potion chants herbal brews vibrant yet distant. You smile, imagining the teenage myth streamer, now a distant light in your mind teaching her star's veil to her family, years hence her AR app syncing with the desert's breeze, her children learning its rhythm. Keep shining, Hope Weaver, you whisper a soft chuckle, fading into the night. The quirky truth is that Aboriginal songlines have sparked global dreams, with a 2024 cultural festival in Darwin weaving Serpent's Coil verses into a virtual reality experience shared to honor cultural resilience. You picture Paulus wincing at a scroll of virtual chants and grin, but the thought softens as you feel the songlines universal embrace their wisdom, a lullaby not just for the desert, but for you here now, drifting towards sleep like the Malian griot's Kora chants soothing desert nights. The songline's voice sings of hope, to listen to the land, to hold memory close, to connect through art, a lesson that wraps you like the festival's harmony guiding you through life's uncertainties. You see the cultural center's unity, the elder's star path, the child's trail tickler, and know their melodies will endure in festivals, apps, or hearts, a chant that carries the world forward. Historians may debate whether these songlines will shape future dreams or rest as heritage, but you rest easy, feeling their truth as both a craft that feeds past and hopes alike, far beyond the Byzantine folder's fleeting order. You're home in their song, its notes a gentle tide pulling you to rest, distinct from the Inca potato chant's earthy pulse. You close your eyes, the stars blurring into a soft glow, their celestial map a guide the Aboriginal singers wove into eternity. You think of the festival, the young girl's steady voice, the elders' trust, and feel their hope ripple through you, a promise that every tale, every star finds its place. You laugh one last time, imagining botching a red ochre trail chant at a picnic. Sorry, storyteller. I'm no star poet, just a dreamer. The hill's silence cradles you, its breeze a distant lullaby, the songline's echo, a memory that soothes your soul. You yawn, the night's whisper gone, the city's breath, a tender hum blending with the star's light, pulling you deeper into peace. You sink into the grass, the hill's coolness fading the stars' dance, a final gift. The Aboriginal songlines with their moon's cradle and star path are a timeless voice binding ancestors to future's desert, to world, you, to dreams. You see the desert trails, the festivals, the centers all gleaming with hope, their melodies eternal in the singer's art. You feel a pang remembering the Byzantine folder's fall, but the songline chants endure their resilience, a beacon in your heart. The stars blur their light, a blanket, the night's voice, a whisper of rest, carrying you where no storm can reach. You linger on the hill, the songlines chant a gentle hum, their verses fading into the night's soft breath, a lullaby that holds you close. The world stretches vast, its mysteries softened, but the Aboriginal songlines light your way, their timeless voice a path to dreams, where all wanderers find peace. You feel their embrace, the hill a haven in the dark, and you let go, carried by the desert's song. The stars guide you, their echo a final pull, and you drift into sleep, the scent of eucalyptus, and the chant's rhythm a lullaby in the outback's endless night. And so, dear wanderer, the tale of Aboriginal songlines draws to its close, their melodies softening like the last ripples of a desert spring. You're still on that starry hill, the modern night now, deep the city's glow, a gentle caress, the breeze, a distant lullaby. The songline's journey born in ancient desert camps, carried through colonial shadows, revived in modern festivals, wraps you in warmth, a reminder that every voice from desert elder to dreamer finds its place in the timeless song. Let the weight of the clapstick's pulse, the flicker of the festival's fires, the echo of red ochre trail and star path, all fade into a quiet peace. You're safe here, held by the desert's embrace, the promise of resilience and connection. The stars above whisper rest their light, a soft veil, and the songlines cradle you, a final gift from a people who sang the night into life. Drift now, let the world slip away, and sink into dreams as gentle as a spinifex dawn. Sleep well, sweet soul, sleep well.